The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Free agency. It starts on Monday. The New York Jets continue to be connected to several free agent targets. We'll break it down. Boy Green joins the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Show number 2 on the day. Click the like button. That is the thumbs up button. And you see this over here? That's a subscribe button. Click that if you haven't done so already. Free agency starts Monday. We're going to be live all week long breaking down all the big moves that we hope the New York Jets are going to be making. Joining me right now to talk all things Jets and about some potential targets for the Jets in free agency is our guy, Paul Boy Green Esden Jr. Boy Green, happy Friday. Happy free agency is almost here. Weekend to you.
I appreciate that, Jake. First off, have you recovered? I saw the assault that occurred at the NFL Combine. The Indianapolis Colt mascot throwing you under his shirt and beating you up a bit. You got absolutely no help from your co-host at the time. It was more a viewing, expenditure there. But good Lord, you got smacked around over there, Jake.
I did. If you're ever in a fight, don't bring Frankie V to be there to help you because he will just sit there and watch the assault happen.
Yeah, what was going on there? That was, and then I forgot the Colts mascot has the little actually got you right in the eye. Good Lord. Hopefully you have an eye sponsor. I don't know if David T could give you any advice on that aspect, but nonetheless, God bless.
I survived. I appreciate you asking. I appreciate you checking in. You're the only person who even followed up and asked about that. So
really,
thank you for caring about me.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what I bring.
How you feeling about this team, Paul? Monday is a big day, noon Eastern. Legal tampering begins, which basically means free agency starts, and then the deals can become official on Wednesday. Your thoughts on where the Jets are and the cap space they have, and just kind of give us a little feel before we talk specific names. How you feel about the approach they're going to take?
Yeah, this is our favorite time of the year. It's tantalizing. There's so many possibilities, speculation almost on a day-to-day basis, minute-to-minute, hour-to-hour basis on who the Jets could add to the mix. And it adds even more intrigue when you don't know who the hell your quarterback is. And that's happened a lot for the Jets here in the 21st century. So who that guy could be has built a lot of anticipation. The Jets, after cutting Devontae Adams, more than doubled their cap space. So they have an opportunity to be aggressive. They're top 10 in the NFL in cap space after that move, and more moves to come that's going to add even more. So I'm excited. I think there's a lot of really talented. I know people have talked a lot of crap about this free agency group, but I think there's a lot of sneaky guys at a variety of positions that would make a ton of sense for the NYJ. So I'm over the moon excited, Jake. I can't wait for Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji to start putting their fingerprints all over this roster.
Let's ignore quarterback for a moment here.
Sure.
All right, because that's obviously a big part of this discussion. If you could have any free agent, like realistic for the Jets, who would be like your number one guy you'd want them to sign?
My number one guy. Well, I'll tell you one guy I love a lot, and this won't be a big name to a lot of people, but I think he just fits exactly what the Jets need. Jacksonville Jaguars safety Andre Cisco, an absolute ball hawk. You go back to his collegiate days. Again, I've got Syracuse bias, of course, when he was here with the Orange, but he's been a ball hawk at the NFL level, and the Jets defense just needs somebody that can take the ball away. I love Cisco, super young guy, would make a lot of sense. It's not going to break the bank, won't be the Javon Holland type level investment that would be required. He's going to be much cheaper than that. He's a guy, quite frankly, that really revs my engine, for goodness sake, that I would like a lot too. And then it's your bevy of picks of the off-ball linebackers. Do you bring back Jamie and Sherwood? If you don't, which pool do you dip in? Is it Dre Greenlaw? Rich Cimini mentioned he's a potential backup plan. If the Jets are unable to bring back Jamie. And another guy I like a lot who's a bigger name, Nick Bolton, man, 24 years old, Kansas City Chiefs off-ball linebacker, Super Bowl champion. He rings the bell, too. And I'd throw one more, Justin Reed, another guy from the Chiefs, elite run defender. That's exactly what the Jets need on the back end of their defense. So there's a handful of guys. Cisco is one of my favorites. He's not going to be a big money guy, but he's one of my favorites that's available.
I would love some of those names you mentioned. Reed, I covered when he was with the Texans when he first got drafted.
Wow.
I think it'd be a great fit for what Aaron Glenn is apparently looking for in the type of players he's coveting. So I like that one a lot. If they could sign Javon Holland away from the Dolphins, sign me up for that.
Yeah.
He's still just 25 years old. And to me, if you're going to spend money at a position in free agency, safety feels like a good way to do it because the contracts aren't ridiculous. You know, like you could get a quality safety and it's not going to like hamstring you if it, for whatever reason, doesn't work out.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's going to have to be a compliment. The Jets probably need 3 or 4 safeties in some combination of free agency, draft, trade, or everything else. Another guy, Ifitu Melifano, another Syracuse guy, he plays corner and safety, comes over for the Detroit Lions. Apparently, he's a big AG guy that he likes a lot, too. But I think you're right. I think you should dip your toe in free agency at some level. Again, whether it's Javon Holland all the way at the top of the market, Justin Reed Fields more middle of the market, or Hufanga, that's another guy. Again, there's like a million safeties that are available that makes a lot of sense for the Jets. I would like the safety dip. It seems like this new regime is going to value safety a lot more than Joe Douglas and Saleh did.
Here is a list of some of the players that the New York Jets have been connected to based on different reports, speculation, rumors. These are just players with ties to either Aaron Glenn or Darren Muji. And there was that report that, as expected, the Jets are likely going to covet guys who know Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. Makes sense. You see new regimes do this all the time. Dan Skipper, Tim Patrick, Derek Barnes. We'll remove him because he got re-signed earlier today. Matt Pert, Carlton Davis, Levi Onwuzurike. I don't know if I said his name right, but the interior defensive lineman is certainly a need for the Jets. If I say to you, Boy Green, which one of these Glenn guys or Muji guys are most likely to be Jets? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Levi Onwuzurike certainly makes a lot of sense. Jets need a ton of new defensive linemen. He's the guy that comes right over from Detroit, so that one certainly makes sense. Matt Pert, you should probably know that too, Jay, because of all your New York stuff. He was drafted by the New York Giants, and then he's sort of worked his way around, and obviously has the Denver connection there. I don't know if I feel great if he's our starting right tackle day one, but as a swing tackle, you could sign me up for that. Who's the other big boy I'm forgetting? The defensive tackle from the Denver Broncos. He's another guy that's available. He's a Muji guy. DJ Jones, I think his name is. He's another one that certainly makes sense. So Levi Onwuzurike, DJ Jones. Again, I mentioned Ifitu Melifano. I think Carlton Davis is going to be too rich, to be honest. That's going to be, Rich Cimini was saying on his podcast, it's going to be like 12 to 15 million per. If you're going to do that, you could make a case to say, hey, are you just going back in the DJ Reed waters? I think they probably go cheaper over there at corner. So while there's obvious connections to AG and he's a corner and all that stuff, I would probably lean towards the trench warfare of guys. Again, Matt Pert, right tackle, DJ Jones, Levi Onwuzurike, those kind of guys is where I would go for trench warfare. More of that Brutus beefcake. Yeah.
I like it. We're talking with Boy Green, weekly spot on the show. If you have a question for him or myself, super chat it in. We'll bring it up on the screen. I want to give a huge shout out to a listener named Escatango. I don't know if I said it right. Tango. Either way, this person writes in, first time watching live. So welcome aboard. And how about this? Hey. Escatango has already become a channel member. First time watching the show live. For those who missed the first show today, we did in fact do the 17th ASMANIAC raffle. We're on to number 18, and we're kicking things off with a new theme for the week. Sack exchange. So our first giveaway prize, the top prize for next week's ASMANIAC giveaway, is a signed jersey by each member of the historic New York Sack Exchange. So that's one raffle entry right there. How about another one from Mother Effin' Chew, who joins the raffle by gifting one channel membership. Gift away, more gift memberships we get, the more prizes I can add each week to the giveaway. Big fella checks in. I read that the Jets tendered a contract to Herb Charles. Not happy about this. He is awful, a penalty machine, and takes up a roster spot for crap play. Couple things on this, big fella. I don't know how healthy he is. He's coming off a torn ACL. He wouldn't take up a roster spot if they just designate him with an injury from the previous year. So I wouldn't be concerned about that. It doesn't cost a lot. So I don't mind them doing this with Herb Charles. It's not like they're saying, hey, Herb Charles, we're bringing you back. You're going to have a receiver role and be the guy on special teams in September. That's not what that is.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's anything to get upset about. He's not getting a $50 million deal, anything crazy. He gets a spot on the 90-plus man roster. Again, to your point, I don't even know if he's going to be healthy this year, so it's good for the Jets just to retain the rights, I suppose. He's a big boy. And to be honest, he is a guy that Brant Boyer is no longer here. He believes he has Pro Bowl special teams potential. So I don't want to see him at receiver like we saw at that end game season with all the injuries. We're seeing Herb Charles getting red zone targets over Garrett Wilson. That I'm not a fan of, but yeah, I think it's much ado about nothing here.
Castango says, my name's confusing, but it's pronounced Castango.
Okay, there you go.
You want to take a crack at that, Boy Green?
Yeah, what a great first impression though. He watches your show and immediately becomes a member. That's the power of the Jake Asman show. Yeah,
I love it.
Ecast Ango. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
All right, there we go. Well, appreciate you tuning in live. How about Mother Effin' Chew gifting a channel membership on the Boy Green program?
Hey, booyah! That's a raffle ticket, baby. That is a Caden P8. Just got that membership. Cha-ching!
Stan says, wow, Jake, you always have such great prizes in the raffle. I appreciate it, Stan. I would not be able to do it, though, if people didn't support the channel. So the more memberships I get, the better the prizes are. And for those of you who are competing in the ASMANIAC Madness bracket pool, I announced this on the first show today, but I want everyone to know that we have announced the top 3 prizes for first, second, and third place in the bracket pool. The prizes are as followed. First place. Hold on. Why is it giving me the wrong... There we go. First place in the pool, a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. Second place, a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey. Third place, a signed Wing Corbett jersey. So first, second, and third, you receive an autographed jersey of a great Jet. So that's the top 3 prizes for everyone that filled out a bracket in ASMANIAC Madness. Speaking of ASMANIAC Madness, earlier today on the show, Nate versus Yeti. In the 5-12 matchup inside the Hood region, Nate all over Yeti, 70-29 with over 527 votes that were cast. Today's matchup, the 13 versus the 4. The 13 seed Raven trying to upset the 4 seed Peter Castro. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hood region continues. I have to update Nate's win on the graphic here, but Castro and Raven, that matchup, guess what? It is officially underway. Polls are open. Vote, vote, vote. You have until the end of the show for us to declare a winner in the latest ASMANIAC Madness matchup. Boy, great. I know a lot of my listeners tune into you.
Yes.
What have been your thoughts on some of the storylines emerging from ASMANIAC Madness thus far?
Yeah, Jake, can you also pull up the results from what we've had so far?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So let's see. Here we go. Yeah, because Johnny Boy was doing a ton of recruiting on the Boy Green channel, coming over and drawing some action there. That's going to be a tough against Charles. Charles, there's a reason he's the number 1 overall seed in this puppy. Also, I'm going to be honest, one that totally surprised me. I don't know if it did for you, Jake, and Dave Briga was on our channel earlier. The 15-2 upset. I mean, that probably busted a lot of ASMANIAC brackets, man. Beast Breaker is a very polarizing guy, and Dave Briga beats him with a freaking rake in the first round. I'm good. That was stunning. But Dave Briga, I saw him already earlier in the chat. He is quite excited about that sort of seismic upset. So, yeah, that sent shockwaves throughout the Jets community.
Yeah, look, Beast Breaker got more people to come out and vote than any other matchup. Now, he didn't win, but 814 people voted, and it was tight. Briga did take it at the end. I think it was 53-47. Wow. At one point, it was 50-50 with about 15 minutes left in the show. There was a late Briga push.
Hey, by the way, what's the tiebreak? I don't think I heard this on the ASMANIAC Sunday selection show, which, by the way, was terrific. It was cool having all the committee members on explaining all the rationale for a variety of things. But I don't know if that was ever established. What happens if there's a tie after the vote? It's 50-50.
Well, so I thought, oh, my God, we have to wait till there's a winner. But if you end the poll, YouTube will tell you who got more. They just don't show you the decimals. So you'll see. And this Nate versus Yeti matchup here. Once again, StreamYard is so messed up, dude. It's not. I click an image, it doesn't come up. But anyway,
Yeah.
Boy Green, you understand what I'm going through.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So you'll see like 70 plus 29 is not 100. It's 99. But we don't have the decimal points available. So it will tell me who actually won. Now, I don't know what would happen if it's exactly even, what we would do then. We might have to. I think we did decide, though. We made a rule just in case that did happen. We'd run a new poll, and it'd be 3 minutes of overtime for people to decide the winner.
Oh, okay. Smart.
I mean, this is a real tournament, man. This is the greatest tournament in sports right now.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake here. That's why I was like, hey, that's got to be más importante. So great.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike D's Nuts is in the house. D's Nuts earlier on the first show today, he won our grand prize, a signed Curtis Martin helmet to kick off our raffle this morning. He's now trying to win more prizes. He has gifted 5 channel memberships, and when Mike D's Nuts gives memberships on the show, we play this.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
If you hear your name, you thank Mike D's Nuts for your channel membership. Tyler Malden, Raul Patel, Jordan, Brian Scantleberry, and Mark Levine all receiving channel memberships there from Mike D's Nuts. Boy Green, we waited long enough. We got to talk about the quarterback situation. The New York Jets will sign which veteran quarterback when free agency gets fully underway next week? Did we lose Boy Green? We might have. StreamYard's acting up for him. Ladies and gentlemen, if you run an internet company and you want to be the new broadcast provider for this show, and I can leave StreamYard, let me know. All right. I am sick of it. Anyway, we'll get Boy Green back on when his connection allows. That said, let's give a huge shout out to Mimosa, who checks in with a $20 super chat, which is also 5 raffle entries. Congrats to Mimosa, who won the Namath helmet earlier. She says, Jake, I'm excited, yes, about my Joe Namath signed helmet. As always, your show brings joy to my long driving days, and when I can just watch from home, you're the best. Mimosa, you're the best. Thank you for supporting the channel the way you do, and I'm glad someone like you got rewarded with that signed Namath helmet. All right, I believe the StreamYard gods are allowing Boy Green to join us again. Paul, are you there?
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, oh, did I just get kicked out? What did I say? Did I get thrown to the shadow realm? What happened there? Okay, I'm back.
I asked you the question. I don't even know if you heard because you probably got knocked out. On Monday or whenever it happens, the New York Jets will sign which veteran quarterback when free agency gets rolling here?
It's not going to be some breaking, like, whoa, where did Paul pull that name? I just feel it in my plums. I think it's going to be Justin Fields. And I don't get the people that say, obviously, he wants to go back to Pittsburgh. Why would he want to go back to Pittsburgh? Garrett Wilson is better than George Pickens. Breece Hall is better than any running back the Steelers have. And the Steelers benched his ass after week 6. He had a 4-2 record, and Pittsburgh said, yeah, hit the bricks, pal. And he was on the bench all season long. While there was some spark for Russell Wilson, that plane went crashing down to the Earth's surface through the final couple of games of the year. So if I'm Justin Fields, and the Steelers are apparently, according to all the reports, prefer Justin Fields over Russell Wilson, I'm telling them to blow me and kick rocks, man. I'm getting my own op, and it sounds like he's going to have a lot of opportunity. So I think it is Justin Fields. And for the people that were the pro Aaron Rodgers and everything else, I know that's not going to be amazing or anything, but I think Justin Fields is better than all these other randos we're hearing. Carson Wentz, Marcus Mariota, what in God's green earth? Give me 26-year-old Justin Fields and let's ride. Let's see what happens. It's one of those years where you need a quarterback to get you through the season. Let him and Tyrod Taylor battle it out in camp and let's go. I think Justin Fields is going to be QB1 for the NYJ.
Well, the thing is with Fields, while I don't think he's great, at least there's the hope that he could have a Sam-like resurgence or Baker. Like, there's talent there. He was 4-2 last year. He's flashed before. If you sign Marcus Mariota, can we just sim the season? Because we're talking about this team picking in the top 5 in all likelihood.
That's exactly it. When you talk about Carson Wentz, when you talk about Marcus Mariota, when you talk about any of those kind of cats that are potentially available, I just feel like those guys have zero chance of having some like peak moment where all of a sudden, aha, we're this great quarterback. You know what they are at this point in their careers. They are what they are. Justin Fields at least is somewhat of a mystery at 26 years of age. You've seen some pops. You've seen some buzz. Maybe this guy, something can finally click, and maybe this can be the Sam Darnold year. Maybe this could be the Baker Mayfield year where he comes in with a great situation around him for the 5 starters under contract on the O-line. You got Breece Hall, got Garrett Wilson. You have this exciting new offense, so we have no idea what it's going to look like with Tanner Engstrand at the top. To me, I think if Justin Fields is evaluating all the options, the Jets are a very attractive team that's out there for him to rebuild his stock. And either he's the Jets franchise quarterback, which would be a stunning surprise, or he gets the cash back in free agency at 27. I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look, I don't think Fields is necessarily great, but like there's a chance he could develop into your guy and at least gives you that to be excited about. Like you got to give us something, man. Like that to me is my big thing. And also, if you sign Fields to a 2-year deal, that doesn't preclude you from drafting a quarterback this year at some point if you like someone, or doing it in 2026. In worst case scenario, Fields is under contract like Tyrod is now a year later, and he could be your guy until that young guy's ready to go.
Yeah, they better have a multi-pronged approach. I would, regardless of the free agent they sign, I wouldn't just sign a free agent and say, oh, quarterback's done. I'm signing a guy. I'm drafting a guy. I am using every opportunity that is available for the New York Jets to add as many arms to the bullpen as possible and hope a few of them pan out. So, yeah, I'm definitely drafting a guy. It doesn't have to be 7th overall. It could be 42, could be 92. It could be a variety of fashions, but I'm using every avenue possible.
Are you excited for Kirk Cousins at the end of the day? Because we all know that's where this is headed, Boy Green.
Boy, the fact that we just keep hearing it, like Rich talked about it a ton on his podcast, the Jets would be interested, the Jets would be interested, the Jets would be interested, and he'd be coming in for the veteran minimum because of how his contract worked over there with Atlanta. But I just wonder how many Jet fans are going to get over that it's aired on national television, whatever, the documentary where Kirk Cousins is dicking around the Jets, gets the deal to 3 years, 90, fully guaranteed. It's like, hey, they offered it? Call the Vikings right now. And I'm like, oh, gee. And we all look like an idiot. So, I wonder how many Jet fans will be able to get over that. Maybe we just need a quarterback so they won't care. But I imagine that is still a deep wound for a lot of Jet fans.
Look, if he plays well, no one will care. But if you're trying to sell me on Cousins just because he's cheap, that's a disgrace. Because you had Aaron Rodgers, who was way better coming off the same injury, willing to take a pay cut. That to me would make no sense. I will be livid if they sign Kirk Cousins. I just want everyone to know. I think that would be a disastrous signing.
So why do you think it'll be a disastrous?
Because I think he's washed. I think I don't think he can play. I don't think he can play. He's less mobile than Rodgers was, and Rodgers at least was giving you some mobility towards the end once he got healthy.
Yeah, I guess the message people would try to sell for the pro Kirk Cousins camp is that, hey, he'll be another year removed from the Achilles, and maybe that's it. Because when you really look at last season, it seems like such an outlier. The 18 touchdowns, the 16 picks, him looking awful. Like, for that stretch of prior to that year, you go through like an 8 or 9 year stretch in a row, he averaged 4,200 passing yards and 29 touchdowns. I mean, he had an insane video game production run. Maybe he did just fall off a cliff, but it just seems like last year is more the outlier than what has been proven to be of Kirk Cousins in the NFL.
Get me Jameis Winston if they can't get Fields. That's the one guy I go, you
That'd
know what?
Fun.
There's talent there. Number 1 pick in the draft. Vinny Testaverde was the number 1 pick in the draft, and Parcells brought him in. Maybe Glenn's like, I'll do the same thing. And then maybe Jameis Winston, who was teammates with Ryan Fitzpatrick and probably plays very similar to Fitzpatrick, maybe he could have the 2015 Fitzpatrick year with the Jets in 2025, 10 years later. How about that for some symmetry?
Oh, is Garrett Wilson or Brandon Marshall? We're getting 109 catches, 1,502 yards, 14 tutties. Oh, yeah, baby. So that was a fun year. It ended horribly. And again, speaking of.
Oh, StreamYard, go screw. Continue.
Oh, no. Oh, geez. But anywho, yeah, the Jameis Winston thing would be exciting because, like I said, it would give you those vibes. So he'd be a fun guy. Again, that's much better than Mariota. That's much better than Carson Wentz and all these other random boob veterans.
And he's a friend of the show.
Hey, Jameis, would you come to the Jets? They might need a quarterback. Yeah. Jets, Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, our exclusive interview with now friend of the show, Jameis Winston.
And look, Winston might not be good, but you know what? At least he has a chance. Like, there's talent. He's entertaining. Like, we'll score points. Yeah, the interceptions will suck. But you know what? Like, Garrett Wilson's going to have 1,400 receiving yards if Jameis Winston's the quarterback. The
friends of the show are expanding it. Brandon Marshall, Chad Pennington. I mean, you have enough to have a Jet starting lineup, for goodness sake, Jake Asman.
We try, Paul. We try. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you're tuning in. If you missed the announcement at the top of the show, we did give away the raffle prizes on my first show today, and we already have a top prize for next week's raffle. It's Sack Exchange themed, a signed jersey by the 4 members of the famous New York Sack Exchange, Abdul Salam, Mark Gastineau, Hall of Famer Joe Klecko, and the great Marty Lyons. So your chance to win, by gifting a membership. And for every $20 super chat, that will get you 5 entries. $50 super chat will get you 10 if you're watching on the phone and you can't gift from the desktop. Robert Morris is in the next Asmaniac raffle. He is gifted 1 channel membership. Robert Morris, thank you very much. Do you think that's the actual Robert Morris that they named the school after?
I do. I do think that is the actual Robert Morris that they named the school after. And shout out to the Sack Exchange thing. Our prayers and thoughts are sent out to the soldier of peace, no longer with us. It's a rare item in general, but obviously even more rare. So that's a one of a kind piece.
Yeah, this was not cheap, but it's well worth it for the Asmaniacs. You're 100% right about that. I appreciate everyone who continues to support the channel here. Cashmere Black's got a super chat for us. Nose tackle should be a priority for the Jets. Look, I think it's a two-pronged approach with that position. I think you got to sign someone, and I wouldn't be shocked if that number 7 pick is a guy like Mason Graham, and they call it a day at that position as well.
By the way, I tweeted at Damon Snacks Harrison, who just passed the Jets facilities the other day. He said he was in town and around the Jets for the first time in like 10 years or something. I asked him if he would suit up, and he sent me a grandpa getting off the couch meme dropping his cane. So I don't know if Snacks Harrison is ready to roll, but boy, we do need a space heater next to Quinnen Williams. That's for sure.
Bring him back. Bring him back. It would be better than Javon Kinlaw, tell you that much.
That is very true.
How about this? Robert Morris goes, I'm the one that works at Ithaca College. Imagine having the name Robert Morris and you work at a different college. That's great.
It's got to be awkward. Awkward.
Go Bombers, Robert. Love that. Thanks for supporting the show. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line, gift the membership if you want in on the raffle. So some internal free agents for the Jets. Jamian Sherwood, Morgan Moses. Are they back, Boy Green?
The Jamian one, I just have to say, scares the shit out of me. So we hear from, it just climbs, right? So Ritzamy goes, well, Jamian's going to get at least $8 million a year. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Zach Roseblatt comes out. He's going to get between $8 and $10 million a year. I'm like, okay, it's getting a little higher. Tom Pelissero comes out and says he's getting $12 million a year. I'm like, good Lord. And he says, Jamian, he listed all these players that could get more money than you think among free agents. And Jamian Sherwood cracked his NFL.com list. And I'm like, holy freaking crap, man. So it sounds like Jamian's market is exploding. You see Zach Bond get $17 million per as an off-ball linebacker. And there just seems to be the age and what people are seeing on tape that people are going crazy on Jamian. Boy, the money's getting crazy. How much are they going to cough up for sure? My gut says that the Jets do not get Jamian back. I hope they get Morgan back, to be honest with you. It hasn't made sense to me, all of these reports that have come out from Connor Hughes that says it's unlikely he comes back. Unless it's a Morgan thing, the Jets would want him back, and Morgan, on all previous opportunities, seemed to have interest. So I'm not saying Morgan's my only plan. I am clearly want Morgan back, but let's draft a guy. Same sort of thing we talked about at quarterback. Draft a guy and let them all compete. But, Jamian seems like a goner with all the money he's coming for.
I mean, I hope they could keep him. That to me is a guy you pay. He's 25. He's probably one of the top 5 free agents out there, though. If you think about it, like it's not a great free agent class. The Badlands free agent big board has him as the 4th overall player. Like, wow. Jamian Sherwood's really good, and I would try and bring him back because I think he fits the player that Aaron Glenn is looking for. That mentality guy. Nothing was given to him, right? He was a day 3 pick, had to change positions, had to master that position, and then was voted team MVP this past year by his own teammate. So I'd try and bring him back for sure. As far as Morgan Moses goes, I did find it interesting that you got that report that came out. It was either yesterday or the day before that he met with the Jets doctors and has been cleared for like full go and any offseason activity. I'm thinking to myself, if he's meeting with the Jets doctors, does that mean maybe the Jets are like, are you healthy? And then we're going to offer you a contract. We want you back.
Yeah, I thought that was bizarre. So, like, Mike Garafolo brings it out, says, he's, clean as an ox. He's good to go. And, hey, he's going to have a lot of interest. I'm like, well, if you're inside the Jet facilities, they measure and yell up to say, hey, Morgan, let's run it back. What other reason would he have to, he's about to be a free agent. He would have no other reason to be getting all medically checked otherwise. So, again, I hope Morgan comes back. I know he's an older player, but man, he's tough as nails, good locker room presence, and I think he'd just be good for the team and good for the rest of the room. So, and continuity, we would have the chance to have all 5 back. How would that not be intriguing for the Jets?
I mean, if they don't bring back Morgan Moses, we're probably looking at like Dan Skipper or like Matt Pert being like the right tackle, and then someone they draft behind them.
Yikes. That's all I have to say about that. But the thing that I will say that makes me feel a little bit better, hey, shout out to number one Austrian Jet fan, baby. A couple of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, and look at this. Green Bean Jets
right here.
fan, Mongo Horse Punch, Forgiven, Zach Cartwright, Fire Aaron Glenn, why not? Was also gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. God bless. Beautiful.
Fire Aaron Glenn, a regular on this channel as well. Unreal. Another name to mention here, Tyler Conklin. Apparently, he is open to a Jets return. What we don't know are the Jets open to bringing Conklin back.
Yeah, and there's more whispers. Mike Garafolo told EA on the Jets official podcast, they recorded a bunch of content at the Combine, and they're delaying its posting.
Oh, I saw them do it. They were right near me. They were posted up there all day. Eric Allen was there, being Eric Allen, all that.
Yeah. So there you go. And so they just dropped the Garofolo episode like yesterday or something, and he said on there that Tyler Conklin's drawn a lot of interest. And the whisper seemed to be that he would want a pay raise. So he signed a 3-year deal for $21 million with the Jets on his original deal. That was $7 million per. Apparently he's looking for $9 million per now. And man, that just feels rich. The Jets are looking at Juwan Johnson, and he wants the same money. Juwan Johnson seems to have the higher receiving ceiling coming off a career year than Conklin. So if I'm going to swap guys, you're probably going for Juwan. So it seems like Conklin's going to be too rich. I just, which is, it is what it is. But, you know, I don't know if he's this true, unquestioned number one tight end. He's got a nice floor, but ceiling I question. And if you're questioning the ceiling, maybe you should swing for someone else.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this live right now, click the like button. Make sure you continue to support the channel. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Paul's channel when you're in the simulcast on his channel right now as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I also have some housekeeping to attend to. Alan continues to comment things that have nothing to do with the Jets or the NFL. No one likes Alan anyway. So, Alan, we will see you later. Your day is done.
Now look what you've done, Alan. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
See ya, Alan. Go talk about the NHL trade deadline on, I don't know, maybe a hockey podcast. God, I can't. It's every day. He's commenting about everything that has nothing to do, but everything that has nothing Jet related. And the only time he talks about the Jets is, I can't wait for them to be bad so we get a top pick next year. Like, great, man. Awesome.
Good Lord.
Like, leave.
Oh, wow.
By the way, for anyone saying that I had anything to do with the bracket seeds, all you need to know is Allen being a 3 seed should speak volumes, because if it was up to me, he wouldn't even be in the tournament. So there you go. Anyway, I digress. Vote. I'm going to campaign for Allen's opponent in the first round. Vote for Jets Johnny in that 14-3.
Jets Johnny. Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. I believe in Jets Johnny. I think he'll take down Allen. On that note, how about we do a little update of the polls here at ASMANIAC?
Ooh, yes,
Madness.
please do. Yeah.
Peter Castro is up 69-31 right now over the 13th seed Raven. So Castro looking good early on in this tournament, but don't discount Raven. She's a star in the making here, and she calls in all of a sudden. All you simps out there see a beautiful woman on the screen, and you might change your mind on some things.
Okay, the 4% demographic, Jake.
Also, I would like to remind people that this show and this tournament is all about having fun, and not whatever the heck happened yesterday between the people that were on the show yelling and screaming at each other.
We're more likable than you fucking old cunt.
Fuck yourself, you piece of
Go
shit.
fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
Well, first of all, I'm not a trade, you asshole.
Yeah, you are. You are.
You're a fucking asshole, too. So,
Fuck you, asshole. Watch your fucking mouth.
That's not what we want, all right? We want...
That happened yesterday? Jeez,
Oh, it did.
I
All right.
I tuned
It
out for
did.
one episode, and look what happened. Good night.
All right? I don't want any screaming and yelling. All right? This tournament is all in good fun. Even Allen, who is a phony, all right? If he wins, so be it. It's all in good fun. But come on now, people. Remember that. But your vote does matter. All right? Your vote does matter. Paul, are you ready to take some calls?
Yes, after that, what a great. All right. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, first up on the Gusbuster Hotline today is Stan from Westport. Hello, Stan.
Hey guys, great guest. You're great, Boy Green. You really,
Hey, thanks, brother.
You really know your stuff. And Jay, I got a few things to say because I was on before too, and it was a great show. But let me just say, first off, and Boy Green brought this up. Who could possibly vote for Indy over Neil after that felonious assault at the combine by the horse? You cannot vote for anything Indy related, Indianapolis, Hoosier, nothing that has to do with Indy stuff because of that attack. That was brutal, just brutal. So it's got to be Neil. As far as the other vote that's going on now, Fugly beats Beauty. So it shows how twisted the Asmaniac voters truly are deep down. How can that happen? But it does. Here's Peter roll. Look at that. Look at those two visages, right? I mean, in the dark, I guess you could vote that way.
Oh,
well, look, the bottom line is, though, Stan, Peter Castro has provided some legendary moments.
Oh, no, he's great. I'm just kidding.
a $500 super chat last year asking Robbie Sabo about Alan Lazard having a pulse after a minicamp practice. Never forget that.
It's true. No, he's great. There's no question. Listen, getting to the quarterback situation, I see us here in like complete opposite world. It's bizarre. Jameis Winston should be with the Giants and the quarterback whisperer Daboll, and Aaron Rodgers should be back with the Jets. I mean, this is like opposite world. If let me put it to you this way, and Joe B went off on the Elder Payne today, which you may see later, Jake and Boy Green, because he was like, it would be fitting for the Giants to get Aaron Rodgers, and then he flourishes there. The thing that's crazy is, if you think about it, the Jets are behaving like the Giants. What happened with the Giants? They signed Daniel Jones to a ridiculous $81 million guarantee, which he got every penny of, and then let him go on waivers for free. The second one was Saquon. They let him go to the avowed enemy for free as well, and comes home with the Super Bowl. So the Jets letting Rodgers go to the Giants is just almost inconceivable in any way, shape, or form. That's my take. And I said to Joe, and I said to you, if Rodgers came back with Aaron Glenn at the helm, especially the D, the core team is good already. I think that's a playoff team. I really do. At least give it one more shot. And the fact that he was out that year with the Achilles, he's a year younger in real terms. So I don't get it at all. And what Kirk Cousins, please. I mean, that's insanity. I mean, Kirk Cousins is the DJ LeMahieu of the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
He's better than that. I mean, but I see what you're saying, Stan. Good call. I mean, look, you could argue that they should have moved on from Rodgers. That's fine. But if the move ends up being Tyrod and Kirk Cousins, I hope all the people who were on board with getting rid of Aaron Rodgers maybe rethink that, because that would make no sense.
Yeah, I'm sure for both of us, Jake, both being in New York, that if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants, that's good for both of our media businesses. But in terms of the Jet stuff, to vicariously live through Aaron in the same stadium in a shade of blue instead of a shade of green, having success, I'm sure that's going to be painful for a lot of us, seeing him throwing touchdowns to Malik Neighbors and everybody else, and the Giants having whatever success they'll have. That'll be a hard thing to kind of wrap my mind around.
The only thing that like I'd be able to deal with Rodgers going to the Giants, and if he plays well, like in the scenario you're talking about, is like, are the Jets also having a good season? Like, I don't care that Favre went to Minnesota and played great, because the Jets were in the AFC Championship game that same season. Like, we had Rex and Sanchez, and like that team gave us forever memories, and it was the start of something, right? Like, it's going to depend on what the Jets do. Like, if the Giants have a great year with Rodgers, so be it. But if we feel like maybe the Jets do end up taking Jackson Dart in the second round, and he's great, or they trade up for Cam Ward. You know what I mean? Like, I got to see what the Jets do at the same time. But, I mean, I said this on my first show today. If I see Aaron Rodgers go to the Giants and he balls out and the Jets suck, I will never, ever let this franchise live that down. Ever. because I see it happening a mile away, and I hope I'm dead wrong.
Yeah, that's true too. I still think of that. That would have been 2009 because Sanchez had 12 touchdowns and 20 picks. Brett Favre had 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. You think if you had that same construct and Brett Favre in 2009, no shame to Sanchez. I love everything Sanchez did. Sanchez, I'll forever hold in a high regard, top 5 Jets quarterback that we've ever had. I hold Mark Sanchez in a very high regard. But damn, it's that what if with a guy like Favre with how he would have done it. So yes, but obviously context is important. If the Rodgers and Giants are killing it, but the Jets are also killing it, then who gives a flying who? But it gets a lot more stark if Rodgers and Giants are doing well. Jets implode, right? AG say win now, win now, win now, and they don't win now. There's going to be some receipts collected by one Jake Asman.
Well, like the thing is too, they're saying they want to win now, right? Well, like what's the plan to do that now? We're going through the quarterback options. They're not great. I mean, they would have to hit on a guy like Fields or, someone in the draft that we're not expecting. Like that's part of this too. Like that's the unknown. But the problem is, like if they were picking 1 or 2, then I would understand moving on from Aaron Rodgers. They're in no man's land with the 7th pick in a 2-quarterback draft right now. If it even is a 2-quarterback draft, which now there's seemingly some doubt on just who the second quarterback is. So that's part of this too.
And I talked about this with Brian Costello from a virtual combine chat, and he said the Jets are raising their own stakes by saying win now, win now, win now, win now. They don't even know who the hell their quarterback is. To me, again, Saleh, when he came here, he didn't say we were going to lose, but he kept talking about youth and newness and all this other stuff. So our expectations didn't surge to Super Bowl. I'm not saying they are with AG, but him saying win now and telling all the players win now, if you don't win, you're going to look like an idiot coming up later in the year because of what you set for your own expectations.
100%. And ultimately, like, this regime is not going to get 3 years. Like, they're going to get this year. If they suck, at the end of year 2, if they're not turning it around, people are going to say, fire the coach. Fire the, like, that's how this works. Like this, like long grace period. It's not going to happen with this franchise in this media market. It's not. Like everyone wants to compare the Jets to what the Lions rebuild was. At the end of the second year, they were 9-8 and they were trending upward. Can the Jets have a winning season within the first 2 years? If the answer is no, then there's a chance they're out after 2, or certainly on the hot seat for sure going into that 3rd year.
Yeah, I think AG signed a 5-year deal, and all those coaching deals are fully guaranteed. So maybe AG is going to have this long runway, but still, I think there has to be a sign. I don't know if it's tangible to wins or what it is, but there has to be signs that this thing is turning around. And I would imagine wins, obviously, is the easiest way to tell that.
Indy Jets with a super chat. Who was that clown talking about Indy this and Indy that? Sounds like Neil Jock riding Rogers. Oh, wow. That was Stan from Westport who said, because I was attacked by the Indianapolis Colts mascot, that no one can vote for Indy Jets because he has Indy in his name. So that was what happened there, Stan, Indy. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Your beef is with Stan. Take it up with him. No. Janice Jet in the house. Hey, Janice. Jake and BG, great show. Thanks for all you do. You guys are stellar. Janice Jet gives memberships all the time, yet she is not a member herself. So hopefully next time someone gives memberships, Janice Jet gets one. Thank you so much, Janice. I really appreciate your support every day. Let's see. Hennessy says, let Rodgers go to the Giants so the media can finally leave us alone. Not if he plays well. You think the Jets aren't going to get dunked on if Aaron Rodgers goes there and balls out?
I think if Rodgers goes anywhere on the NFL planet and balls out, the Jets are going to get shit for it. So I think any Jet fan that's like, oh, thank God, as soon as he leaves, we're not going to hear about that anymore. I think you're going to hear about that a lot, especially in the same town, same stadium. You're going to let Rodgers go to the Giants. Hennessy, I think you got the wrong interpretation of what this is going to be. If he goes to the Giants, we're going to hear about that shit every single day. He's going to be in the same town, man.
Yeah, especially if they start playing well. I mean, 100%. Right. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I just realized I forgot to pin the call-in link to the chat before the show. So I'm going to pin it right now for those of you who do want to get in on the conversation. Now is the time. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if this has happened yet in ASMANIAC tournament history. Peter Castro is competing right now, and he just dropped 10 raffle entries for the people, perhaps trying to buy some votes.
Grease the wheel.
Competition, baby. But I'll tell you what, I'm a capitalist, baby, so gift away, Peter. Boom. 10 memberships from Peter Castro. If you hear your name called, Castro just turned you into a member, and I'm assuming he wants your vote. Scott Seymour, Puppies for Peace, Abby Baby, Putty, Kevin House Layden, David Hall Jr., Ryan Hawk, Sneakers to Boots, Chris Palermo, and Mac Daddy, all receiving memberships from Peter Castro. Right now, I don't even know if Peter needs to buy boats. He's dominating. 70-30 with 250 votes that have been cast so far. Raven, a great caller, but a tough matchup when you run into the great Peter Castro. No doubt about that.
I like Peter pushing the pedal to the metal, that he's just not, resting on his laurels and saying, the votes are probably in. He's like, let me finish this. Fatality. I can respect it.
Our coaching staff stinks. The team is never prepared. They're undisciplined. They make a million mistakes. And the coaching staff is terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hackett and him are like having two drug addicts on the sidelines. They're no good. And if Rodgers doesn't fix this, we're all going to kill ourselves. What happens after Rodgers? They have no plan for that. It's going to be 10 more years of being a shit.
I really hope Castro's not right. Because right now, we're in that what happens after Rodgers stage, and I really don't want another 10 more years of being for shit.
Yeah, I concur. I agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, super chats here. Henny says, and if Rodgers stinks, let's talk about that too. If Rodgers is awful, then yeah, I'll say he's terrible. Like, believe me, I'm a Jet fan. I like Aaron Rodgers. I want him to do well, but I personally hope he retires rather than goes to the Giants. I don't want to deal with it. Like, that's what I hope happens. I don't even want to deal with that, even if it would be good for my channel or when I'm on ESPN New York to have something to talk about. Like, my fan comes first with this stuff. But yeah, I think he's still. I don't think he's going to be terrible. I think he's still going to be a good quarterback. You know, I think he was a solid quarterback this year. He wasn't great, but he certainly wasn't awful.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I don't. My gut tells me he's not going to retire, even though there's not that team that the Rams would have been awesome for him because he could compete for Super Bowls and do everything that he wants to do. Some of these other teams, there doesn't seem to clear a path for Giants, Raiders, Titans, any of those kind of teams that seem to be swimming around his waters. Don't seem like instant Super Bowl contenders. So he has to decide whether he wants to play just to play or or otherwise.
Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. The Hamburger's on the line. Hey, Hamburger.
Hey, what's up, Jake? What's up, Black Rain? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Excellent. Yeah.
Not much. Listen, I don't know how my service is going to be. I'm in a shitty area, but listen, we're in purgatory hell with quarterback situation again. It just never. I feel like it's never going to end. I think out of all the quarterbacks that we have an opportunity at, Justin Fields is probably the best option. Even though I really don't like it so much, but it's probably our best option. I want nothing to do with the old man. I think he can't move anymore. I think he's way off. He's way worse than Rodgers was. I think his mobility is going to be terrible. I don't want him on the team. Jameis Winston, yeah, it's going to be fun, but it's also going to be frustrating to watch him throw 50 interceptions. So, again, listen, Peter Castro, he might be right. He might be right, man. It might be another 10 years of hell. I hope not, but I don't know, man. Just doesn't. I hate the options. I absolutely hate it. That's why I agreed the other day with getting an offensive lineman and running the shit out of the ball. That's what I think we need to do is run the hell out of the ball, and limited passing as limited passing as we can get. I don't know, that's just my feel on it. I don't like any of the options.
By the way, Hamburger, what's the rehab looking like for you? You healing up well?
Oh no, I'm back to work, man. I'm up on the bridge. I'm climbing the bridge now. I'm back to work 100%. Thank you for asking, man. I appreciate that.
Of course, absolutely.
Look at that hair, though. I mean, or lack thereof. Wow. He's a new man, Hamburger.
New man.
Different human.
Yes, sir. So
less weight on the leg. Less weight on the leg now. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, the hair was weighing me down. But I got a nice shirt that I'll wear on my day for the contest that I ended up finding online. It came and I found it, so I'll wear that on the day that I'm in. Oh, I might lose you in a second. But
look at that. ASMANIAC Madness fits, Jake Asman. We're buying outfits just for our days.
Oh, I didn't buy it. Just a shirt. It's a fitting shirt for me. So but listen, I'll let you guys go. I'm about to hit the Whitestone Bridge where I get crappy service and my service cuts out. So boy,
Hamburger,
nice seeing you. Jake, enjoy,
brother.
man.
You're the man. The great Hamburger. Check it in. That's a great matchup he's involved in. It's basically like a new school versus old school matchup. I'll explain. You look at Hamburger where he's at, right? So he's the 7 against Scott, who's the 10. Now,
Mhm.
if we were doing this tournament in the summer, Scott's probably a 2 seed, a 3 seed, like he maybe even a 1. There were some moments, but Scott didn't call at all for basically the entire regular season, and he only called a few times since the Jet season actually ended. But he's electric. How much does the audience remember from that over the summer? Or will the Hamburger's emergence during the actual Jet season, where he became a regular on the show, will that carry the Hamburger to victory? So I'm fascinated by that matchup.
Whatever the analytics said, Jake, old school versus new school. For instance, we talked about earlier that Dave Briga Beast thing, and maybe that's even more unique because Beast is not just the new guy, but like the profile of his newness has been so hot. But like a Dave Briga, an OG1, have the OGs been kicking new guys' ass so far, or it's not been that clear?
It's been a mixed bag, I would say.
Okay.
If we just kind of go through the matchups. I mean, Cheats fan, he's a 1 seed. He should win. Weed versus Rob is 2 guys who've been here a long time. Nate's been here a long time. He beat Yeti, who doesn't call as much. We haven't had a ton of upsets other than Briga over Beast, and that's more so Briga took the approach, hey, I'm not Beast, vote for me. And that's
a good case.
That was enough for him to get by, which, I mean, great strategy by the great Dave Briga.
Sure.
I'll pull up the chicken soup region here. We'll go through each one.
Yeah,
I mean,
please do. Yeah.
Gorman's going to be tough to stop against anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Travis Gorman for a reason.
Yeah.
And Johnny Boy versus Jason. I mean, this
That's
came down to
tough.
like 1 vote. So this was insane.
Shout out to Johnny.
JJ did get by June. So the old school of JJ did get him by. So that's one example there where a guy who barely called the last couple months did narrowly escape a new guy who's emerging.
Yeah.
Big Fella destroyed Paul. Paul just doesn't call enough. I think the chat didn't remember him.
Yeah.
Aurora destroyed Tim.
Wow.
They're both probably watching around the same time. King Lowski destroyed Genergy, but King
poor
Lowski's
Genergy.
iconic. And
Yeah, of
Genergy's
course.
great, just tough matchup.
Yeah. Barbarossa, our son.
Yeah, D's nuts, though. He dropped the nuts on him. He got by.
Not close.
No. And then this was the upset of the tournament. But if you really break it down, I guess we can't be shocked.
That's a good point. Wow. Shout out to Dave Briga.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about this for a super chat? Thunderlips writes in, my wife said I can't spend any more super chats after looking at my bill. I think she hates you. I have you streaming on my TV now, so please make Carrie like you. All right. Boy Green, hold on.
Yeah.
Carrie, listen here. All right. I'm going to talk right to you. Your husband, Mr. Thunderlips, I'm assuming that's his government name, of course, is a great guy, but he's also sick in the head like I am. We love the New York Jets, right? We can't control it. This is our escape from reality to talk about our bad football team. So please accept your husband for the Asmaniac he is and accept me as someone who's just trying to make a living here. All right. Thunderlips is allowing me to live my dream of talking about a bad football team that hasn't won more than 7 games in 10 years. So thank you very much. And Carrie, you're wonderful. Hopefully that works, Thunderlips. I don't know if it will, but I tried.
That felt good. I felt that. Yeah.
David Atkins is in the raffle. He is gifted 1 channel membership. Thank you, David. We will get you down. Let's see who got David's membership. Listener Jet Up 3 is the recipient of that. Leon writes in, Jets purposely didn't interview Carroll, McCarthy, or Gruden, 3 Super Bowl winning coaches, because they would have suggested keeping Rodgers. I mean, I asked Mike Tannenbaum point blank about this, and he talked in circles and didn't give me an answer. So I left the combine more convinced that, well, maybe Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji were open to keeping Rodgers. If they weren't definitively, we got to keep him, they were like, Woody doesn't want him, we'll just move on. That was my feeling.
Yeah, and I saw you catching shit on that for social media, Jake. Apparently, some fans didn't like your interviewing thing. As people that are in our chairs, we have, like, the interview. We have a limited amount of time. We got to get as many questions in as we can. If they're not going to answer the question, what are you going to do? Eventually, you got to move in a different direction. So you asked Tannenbaum straight up. He danced around. You did a follow-up, danced around it, and then I imagine in your brain, Jake, you're like, all right, fuck this, then we got to go somewhere else.
I mean, like, there's only so many times I could ask the question. I tried. I mean, I honestly, I didn't see any negative feedback from that interview. So that's the first I'm hearing of it. So,
oh,
I mean,
okay,
good to know.
Yeah.
I honestly, I appreciate the kind words I got from people who are being like, you asked them tough questions. I appreciate you not backing down to them. I'm like, yeah, I mean, this is my only opportunity to get to talk to them. So I try to make everything I say on this show, I stand by it if I ever meet these people in person. Like, believe me, I met with
respectable.
I met with someone with the Jets at the combine and gave them my Rodgers stance, and they were trying to push back on it. And I was like, well, this is where I'm coming from. So, like, I stand by everything I say. It's all on the record.
Yeah.
I also would like to say this, Alan. There you go. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Well, not really. More calls before we say goodbye to Boy Green. Let's say hello to the big fella. Hey, boy. Hey, big fella.
Hey, Jake. Hey, Boy Green. How are you?
Hey, big fella.
First of all, Peter Castro is the GOAT. He's like one of my favorite callers. So matter of fact, so tell you how it is, no filter, love it. Going to this Kirk Cousins thought, there is no way in hell we should sign this guy. No way. If it was 10 years ago, maybe when we were talking about it back then, yeah, absolutely. Now, hell no. He got replaced by Penix last year. Okay, he's done. Okay, he had the same surgery as Rodgers. Okay, Rodgers was better than him. Okay, so you're going to bring in someone worse than Rodgers that you just got rid of, who is who was never on the same level as Rodgers. No, there's no way in hell that we should get him back.
That's why they're going to
bring him in.
That's why they're going to sign him. Get ready. All you people who wanted Rodgers gone. Oh, here's Kirk Cousins, year 2 off and the points that are going to be made to try and justify the signing are going to infuriate me even more. Oh, he's second year removed from the Achilles. Oh, he's this, he's that. You like that. He was going to be so much, and it's going to be like just based on the fact that he's going to cost you nothing. And it's like, who cares about the cap when Rodgers was willing to also take a pay cut and it would have got you Devontae back? So you could sell me on Justin Fields. I would understand it. I want that. That's the right move. If they bring in Kirk Cousins and try to sell those talking points, I'm going to shoot myself in the head.
That's who I want. I want Justin Fields too. That's exactly who I want.
I don't even think Fields is great, by the way. I just think there's at least a plan there that I can understand.
Who did you get? Yeah, Jake, who'd you get in an argument with? Was that Connor Hughes with the Kirk Cousins won't be as much of a diva, the extracurricular stuff that Aaron Rodgers brings? Who was that?
Yeah.
Did you have the conversation with Connor? Was that it?
It's like, oh, well, he'll be cheap and you don't have all that extra stuff. I'm like, who cares? Extra stuff. Find me a player or a coach that has anything bad to say about Aaron Rodgers. You won't. You won't be able to. It doesn't exist. Did you see the way the team reacted to them releasing him anyway? So it's like, please, for the love of God, man, just come up with better reasons than what is being floated out there. And by the way, look, I don't do politics. I don't care. But the idea that nothing comes with Kirk Cousins is ridiculous when today he's meeting with the president of the United States, which probably pisses off half the chat, and half the chat now probably wants the Jets to sign Kirk Cousins. I don't do politics, but this idea that it's only Aaron Rodgers who's involved in political stuff, and they're going to sign Kirk Cousins, who right now is meeting with Donald Trump, give me a break.
Also,
touche.
Also, enough with the Irv Charles shit with this team. The guy, I hate the guy. I can't stand him. I hated when we got rid of Hardy and we're like, oh, we're gonna bring in Irv Charles. Well, he sucks. Okay, he's terrible. And
by the way, I just thought of this. Kirk Cousins is definitely going to be a Jet now. He's meeting with Trump, and then we know Woody is Mr. Trump. So get ready for Kirk Cousins, everybody. This just sealed the deal. God.
Oh, you're putting the puzzle pieces together, I guess.
Yeah, just forget Justin Fields. Here comes Kirk Cousins, baby.
But that penalty machine, Irv Charles, I can't stand him. And also, why are we bringing him back and possibly bringing back Xavier Gibson? Our special teams were garbage last year. Zurline was terrible. Gibson's terrible. Charles was a penalty machine. It's redo the whole freaking room. All right, get them all out.
He's not going to play right away, though, big fella. Once again, he tore his ACL in December. Like I think it's a.
He might miss the whole year. Who knows? Yeah.
I don't want him to play at all. I don't want to play at all. He is trash. So, anyway, that's all I got, man. Go Peter Castro. I have you going to the finals.
Wow.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite callers. So
I love Castro. Here's the thing with Castro. He tells it how it is. Boy Green nailed it. He tells it how it is.
Exactly.
I mean, you look at where he's at right now. If he gets by Raven, Castro versus Nate is a toss-up, though, big fella. That would concern me. Like, I like Castro. I think I had Castro, but if Nate won, I wouldn't be surprised. Nate's going to be riding around on his bike. That could sway things. It better not be raining the day Nate's competing. He's going to need to be on that bike.
I love Nate. But Peter Castro, he's a force of nature. You can't stop Peter Castro. So, I have him going all the way to the finals against Mikey. So that's my bracket.
Big fella, You're the man. Great call. I will read the super chat because I appreciate the creativity from Alan. So I sent them to the whole on this channel, but because we simulcast the Boy Green appearance on his, Alan has super chatted our Boy Green's channel to say I was talking to Kirk Cousins today when he was in the White House. If you needed any other evidence that Alan is not a Jets fan, he is a professional troll that spends his free time commenting on every show I do despite being retired. Here's your answer right here. Now he wants Kirk Cousins simply because he took a picture with Donald Trump. Great, Alan. I'm happy for you.
F you, Jake. Jesus. Oof. That's tough.
A lot worse has been said to me, Boy Green. I'll be okay.
There you go. Okay, there you
go. Jay Mull writes in, no one interviewed Gruden, and there are no reports Vegas is interested in AR. People need to calm down with the conspiracy theories. Who's saying anything about Vegas? We're talking about the Giants. There was a story yesterday from Art Stapleton, who's plugged into the team, saying that they've talked with Rodgers representatives about what a contract would look like.
And on the Gruden stuff, he apparently had the interview with the Saints, and they offered him the OC job, and he said no thanks. So there hasn't been any NFL head coaching, which is sort of surprising. But I think all the pieces are happening for Gruden. He just got reestablished into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor. The NFL is welcoming back at events. Maybe Gruden may not be this year, obviously, because all the head coaches are filled. I think John Gruden might be someone to watch next year.
Aced up with a super chat. I will shoot myself if we sign Cousins. Typical effing Jets. How could people not see? Like, it is the most Jet thing ever to get rid of the old quarterback coming off the Achilles because you had to do it, and then you sign Kirk Cousins. I don't care if he's playing for free. It doesn't make sense. All right, if you're going to bring in a veteran quarterback, it has to be someone with that can't be a worse version of what you just had with Rodgers.
Yeah, that would. Again, I don't think Kirk, let's just be honest. If we're just going to lay all the cards on the table, I don't think Kirk comes here because I think he's going to have choices. Like, for instance, the Browns with all the Kevin Stefanski, work all your way around back to Kirk Cousins. If he gets released later on in this process, I think he'd pick other teams beyond the Jets, to be honest. I think if the Jets were his last resort, he would pick them, which would only incense Jet fans more that even if they wanted him, he may not want them anyway. So, that would surprise me.
Jimmy wants to know, why am I getting upset over this? Because I can already see it coming, man. Aren't you tired of losing, Jimmy? Hey, hold on. I forgot. Jimmy's celebrating the Jets winning the Cap Space Championship. I forgot. I got Jimmy's ring right here for winning Cap Space Championship right here. The goal should be to win games, and that's what the Jets are saying. So I'm going to hold them to that standard, right? Mm-hmm. That's what the standard they're laying. So, tell me how we're winning games with some of these options that are being floated out there. That's what bothers me to no end. Good news for Paul. J-Boy just dropping a 5 spot on his channel.
Hey, J-Boy, appreciate you. Here are the 5 new members to Boy Green Coffee Club. Janice Jet. Hey, there you go, Janice. Got it over on my channel. MJ Dunn, Patrick Sullivan, Dominic, and 99 Jet all getting Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Shout out to J-Boy.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, baby, you seeing this? Our first 20 spot since we announced the new prize, the Sack Exchange jersey, for ASMANIAC raffle number 18 next week. 20 raffle entries for Mimosa. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Mimosa for coming through for the people. Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches. Time to strap up. Time to strap up. I got 20 names to read, Paul.
Oh, yeah, freedom.
We go. Joe M. Michael Lozano. Iowa Jets. Dakota Jets Motivator. Jimmy M. Chanko B. Wilfredo Estrema. Michael Perez. Big Spoon. Kevin Walter. Beal 66. Ariz 67. Christopher Mina. Louis Strady loves Lucci. Paul Lungo. Brian Damage. Robbie Oak. Alinas. Is that 20? That might have been 20. I don't know. That's all I got. I do know this. Mimosa, you're awesome. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And Mimosa won our signed Joe Namath helmet during the raffle.
Oh, awesome.
On the first show today. So she's immediately paying it forward. Mimosa, I appreciate that. I will get the Namath helmet sent out to you early next week when I get back to the city. All right. J-Boy also gifting on my channel in the raffle for one with this. Thank you very much, J-Boy. Let's get to you have time for one more call, Paul?
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. One last call for Paul, and then I'll stay on for the rest. Kyle Clifton is the final call for Paul. What's up, Kyle?
Yeah, baby.
What's going on, fellas? How are you? Happy Friday.
Hey, great to have you on, pal.
Happy Friday, Kyle.
Listen, I don't know after the last 5-6 months of seeing Peter Castro on here every day cleaning his firearms that anyone's going to go against him. So, like, this is going to be an uphill battle today, I think. Just pursuing about what you guys were talking about with Cousins, I don't think that's happening here. You would have to think that they would be totally out of touch with what the fans want by doing that, by getting an older quarterback, by getting a guy with Achilles, by getting a guy who spurned us in the past. You know, part of what Glenn was selling was pride in being a Jet, right? Like, how do you sell that and bring in Kirk Cousins, who basically played us against the team that he ended up going to? It's incongruous to me. I can't figure it out. I would rather spend this upcoming time with the free agent period filling in a couple of blanks, maybe a starting safety, but O-line depth. Bring in someone to compete with Carter Warren and Max Mitchell. You know, a number 2 tight end, right? Let's get Tim Patrick in here if he's a culture guy, for some depth in the room. Let's get some of the depth filled in before the draft, and then we can just basically take the best player available in the draft and move on from there. Although, if they were to go hard to the hoop for Fields, I would totally understand it. Maybe give him a deal 2 or 3 years where the second and third year aren't guaranteed. He could end up being our backup as early as next year if it didn't work out. And then, you know, we would have some leverage over for him for a longer term contract if he did pan out. That is probably the way that I would like to go. As far as anyone else beyond Fields, I'm going to tell you right now, Jameis would drive me nuts. Like, there's nothing more antithetical to winning than throwing interceptions.
Do you want Jameis Winston or Kirk Cousins?
That's really Sophie's choice, isn't it?
Come on, Jameis is such a better option than Kirk.
I'll grant you that he might be fun. Like, it'll be more of like a, you know, circus downfield, like wide open type game with him. But I don't want either, just to be frank with you. I would rather have Daniel Jones than either of them.
No way.
Wow.
Kyle, come on.
I would.
That's
because it's a bridge guy, and you don't have to. It's not a long-term commitment. Like
Jameis.
Well, Jameis wouldn't be. Yeah, Jameis would be a one-year deal. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, at least you've seen Daniel Jones get you to the playoffs before. You've never seen Daniel Jones play behind a decent offensive line before. Like I if it was the money was right, I would rather see him than either of those two guys.
Kyle, you know I love you.
You don't really care for this take, I guess.
But that take, I've never heard you have a worse take.
I better clean things up before I get to my bragging the tournament then.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great
started a little bit early.
And that's what it is. A little Friday. Kyle Clifton enjoying the wine there. I mean, like, I understand not loving Jameis, but come on, man. You want Daniel Jones back in this medium? By the way, this would be so Jets. They do sign Daniel Jones. Rodgers goes to the Giants. They swap quarterbacks. And Rodgers is now great with the Giants.
That'd be awful. Hey, I don't know if it's we've heard a couple of my fathers on the Daniel Jones train. Albert Brewer's on the Rich Eisen show this week, and he said when Daniel, like, oh, what's the Jets' answers at quarterback? Obviously, everyone's saying Justin Fields, but he threw Daniel Jones out there. Albert Brewer did for the Jets. I'm like, damn, what the? I don't know. I just don't think it would be great in this market. He can run around. That's interesting. Fair point, Kyle. He hasn't played behind a great offensive line, but I just don't know how that personality would go. And then you add on to the fact the Giants could get Aaron Rodgers, and we have that flip, and it goes good for the Giants and terrible for the Jets. Oh, God. The headlines write themselves.
Brutal. All right. Before we get out of here, some memberships on your channel, but first, Thunder Lips super chatted. Boy Green, I love your beard. Zoinks, Gazooks. Do you say Gazooks? Is that what that means?
I don't think I've used that one yet, but I'll try to work that into the vernacular moving forward.
Do the curtains match the carpet of getting a divorce now? Worth it. Thunder Lips, you've said a lot today. Some of it is a little troubling, but I appreciate your support.
I wonder if his wife is still watching. That's
What was his wife's name? Let's see. Let me scroll up to the super chat.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
wife's name was Carrie. Carrie, look away. All right.
Yeah,
Look away. Also, Alan gifted 5 on your Alan. I'll give Alan
Yay!
credit for this. He is a great
Yeah.
troll. Gifting 5 on your channel despite me is hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's clearly only for spite, but hey, the checks cash the same. So the 5 new members to the Boy Creek Coffee Club: Daniel, Michael Shiplowitz, Greg Kolstmanberger, Jeffrey Urena, and Maurice. All new members to Boy Green Coffee Club. Hey now,
How about it? I think there was one more on your channel that I want you to
yeah,
acknowledge.
Danger Zone.
Yep.
Yes, let me give a shout out there. Danger Zone gifted a membership that went to Big Rush 2112. And there you go. I saw a couple of super chats coming in. We could get through all those, Jake, if you want.
All right, let's rip through it. But
Okay.
aced up Kirk Cousins playoff record. What is it? It's bad. He's won one playoff game in his career. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1-3, and he, I believe it might have been overtime. If it wasn't, it was at the end of the game. He beat the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. That was the only win. I believe that touchdown pass was to Kyle Rudolph in the back left corner of the end zone. But that was his only playoff win. All the rest have been losses. So 1-3 is his playoff record.
By the way, if he got to the playoffs with the Jets, I'll eat all my words on Kirk Cousins and I'll kiss his feet and say, "Great job, Muji."
Wow.
I don't care if the Jets go to the playoffs and lose. They ended the longest playoff drought in sports in a year. Everyone thinks they're not going to be good. There's value in that. And then you get your long-term, like the Bills did it with Tyrod, to be the same thing. And then you get your Josh Allen, hopefully, in 2026 in this scenario. Or, maybe there was someone that was sitting behind Kirk this year. I don't know. But, I don't care. I don't want Kirk Cousins because he hasn't been good in the playoffs. I don't want Kirk Cousins because he's not good now in the regular season.
Yeah. To me, any way we get to the playoffs, that'd be great. It's going to be, I know the Buffalo Bills said 17 years, so their drought is obviously currently longer than ours, but there would just be a seismic monkey off our back to finally cash that in, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a 20 spot I want to get to, but Indy Jets at the buzzer here for Boy Green just gifted 5 for Paul.
Hey, thanks, Indy. And you know what, Indy? I have nothing bad to say. You or the Colts mascot, for that matter. Dino, South Philly, Salvatore Nocera, Daniel Murphy, Malcolm Harper, MH Jets fan 83, all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. So pour one out. And I saw one last super chat here. Emmanuel Holcomb, in your opinion, what would be a winning season? Jake, we could both answer this one. I guess this is up to the gods, but I don't think it's a playoff mandate or anything like. I would love for the Jets to go to the playoffs. I want to see improvement. I don't know, 7, 8 wins, 9 wins. Is that crazy? I mean, we don't know who the quarterback is, so it's sort of impossible to set those expectations yet. But I would love to see a season where we're competing and the Jets are sort of in the mix in a 7-team playoff and a 16-team seeded conference. How can you not find a way to be in the conversation when we get to the end of the year?
Yeah, I totally agree. To me, that'd be nice. A winning season, though, is 9-8. Actually winning more games than losing. That to me is a winning season. You've gone 10 years in a row without winning more than 7 games. So, 8 wins would be improvement, but how about 9-8?
Sure.
9-8 the Lions were. They missed the playoffs that last year. Then in the third year, they made the NFC title game. They've been good since. If we're going to follow that path, this team should be a lot better than 3 wins that they were year 1 with Dan Campbell. Then they were 9-8. Then they were in the NFC title game. I'd like to see the Jets go out there and try and have a winning season this year.
The Jets have had 1 winning season in the last 14 years. I don't have to remind you, Jake, but just to remind the rest of the world who may not know, 10-6 in 2015, literally 10 years ago. That's the only winning season, the above 500 season the Jets have had. For the love of everything that's holy, yes, let's get some winning ways back here for the NYJ, Jake.
Paul, I know you got to run. Thanks for hopping on as always. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, brother. We'll catch you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boy Green checking in. All right, I got some more super chats to get to, but we waited way too long to shout out Jimmy. I think Jimmy made a comment that I turned into a rant earlier. So, Jimmy, I appreciate you gifting 20 memberships right here because that means you're in the raffle for 20.
It's the ASMANIAC membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Let me put on my Beast Breaker fitted helmet here because it's so big on me. It was fitted for Beast. Hawk Tua, Jesse Roden, Mike Feeney, Keenan Good, Mo, Noel F., Jeff Seawald, Todd Groves, Black Casper, 592, Kickstaff, Luke Gordon, Mr. Leaney. Is that the Mr. Leaney? Whose wife just had a birthday yesterday? Pat McAfee's Tank Top, Tyro, Fake Tough Guy Rob V, That Mitt Clock, KJ Jam, Cage Rise, Brady Strong, Mike Higman, all receiving channel memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Jimmy Jets. Oh, all right. Also, congrats to all the Jet fans celebrating the Cap Space Championship as well. I don't say it enough. I'm happy for all of you. Hennessy writes in, hope Rodgers goes to the Giants. Can't wait. Hey, Kenny, enjoy your Cap Space Championship, man. Steve writes in, bam, Trump's America now. Vote Castro. Well, first off, it's Castro. And what? I guess you want Kirk Cousins too because he took a picture with the president today? Great. I'm happy for you. Great way to build a football team. If Rodgers balls out on the New York Giants and we have a bleep season, that will be the final straw for me. Yeah, I mean, how could it not be? How could it not be? And I don't know if he's going to go to the Giants. Maybe he's like, they stink. I don't want to go there. But if he does go there and they're somehow good, get ready to never hear the end of it. And it would be all deserved, by the way. All of it. All right. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to your calls, an update on Poland. 72% of the vote has gone to Peter Castro with 346 votes that have been cast. 72 to 28. Castro over Raven. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline right now to talk all things Jets and potentially talk about his lead in ASMANIAC Madness is...
The biggest mistake they made is not firing this whole crew of shitheads before the season started. The coaches can't make decisions. They don't correct anything. I mean, this is a joke.
Sound. What happened to the sound?
You're here, Peter. I see you.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Jake?
I'm good, Peter. How are you? Congrats on the big lead you got right now.
I thank the ASMANIACs for that. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the Jets, Jake.
Please do, Peter.
First of all, the only quarterback the Jets should be interested in right now is Justin Fields because Kirk Cousins stinks, Carlton Wentz stinks, and what's his name? Derek Carr. You can keep him in New Orleans. We don't need him. As far as the team is going to go, it's all up to this coaching staff. If this coaching staff is good and a lot better than what we had, which I'm hoping that it is, I don't think any coaching staff could be that bad. Just with a running game and a consistent passing game, this team should be able to get to the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. And this is not a retool. This is a rebuild in a way. Because we lost all our receivers, we lost half of our defense, they're not signed. We have no kicker, we have no punter. So,
well, they do have a punter.
Not yet.
He's a friend of the show, Thomas Morstead.
Yeah, I know he's a friend of the show, but did he sign? The Jets didn't sign him.
He's under contract, so if they just bring him back on his current deal, he's the punter.
Okay, so that's one good thing.
There you go. We got a punter.
But the rest of it is up to this coaching staff. It's definitely up to the coaching staff. If this coaching staff is good, if they're as good as advertised, who knows?
Like it'd be
how
better.
Far they can go.
But like the division is really good. They're also in a tough conference. Like it's going to be hard. Like if you tell me Aaron Glenn's Mike Tomlin, where every year he's winning 10 games and they're going to the playoffs, then yeah. But I have no idea what to expect from first-time GM, first-time head coach, first-time play caller, and probably a downgrade at quarterback overall. They could be better offensively with better coaching and a running game, but you're not having a quarterback in all likelihood that is as good as what Aaron Rodgers was this past year.
We have downgrades. We have downgrades all over the field. But you still got to take in consideration that the Jet coaching staff was horrendous. I don't even think they practiced together.
No, that's terrible.
I never seen anything like it. So if they're good, as good as they should be, I think the Jets could be pretty good.
I like your optimism, Castro, which is seemingly rare. I feel like you're not normally optimistic. Normally, I'm a positive one.
Don't worry. If they stink, I'll be the first one to say it. I won't take too long. I have to just watch a couple of games of them and see what they do.
Now, I'll tell you what, Peter. I'm looking at the bracket here, right? And
Yes.
obviously Nate won earlier today. You're on a path to victory. You even gained 3 points since you've been on the phone with me here. 73-27 now. You're leading. You versus Nate. That is a fascinating 5-4 in the round of 32. Two beloved callers. Have you given any thought to what your approach will be?
I'm still giving it some thought. I'm giving it a lot of thought. Maybe I'll have a commercial made for me. Maybe I'll call Gator and have him make a commercial or
Please
something.
do. That might be the difference, because Nate's going to pull out all the stops on the bike. You're going to need to basically showcase the greatness of Peter Castro, like a rant or something. Maybe a montage of that from Gator.
Well, how about if I take my bike out and I ride around and call in?
Oh, that will be good.
Yeah, I might try that.
That's tremendous. Well, Peter, you're the man. Thanks for all the support. I hope you win one of these raffle prizes, too. I know you had a ton in for the last one. Maybe you win one of the Sack Exchange prizes.
I can't win anything. I don't think you put my name in there.
I promise you I did. Your name was in there.
I want it checked. I want an audit.
I'll tell you what, though. You send another Alan Lazard special. I'll make sure you get something.
Yeah, that would be nice. All right, Jake. Have a good night.
Peter,
have a good weekend.
You're the man, and I don't want to jinx you, but almost congrats on your win. I guess we'll see you in a little bit.
All right. Thank you.
Berline, he stinks. Get him out of here. Aaron Rodgers, he's as bad as Simeon. He's not going to get better. He's 41 with a bad leg. He's terrible.
Great Peter Castro, everybody. What I love about Peter's when I think he's going to be negative, he's like, it could be pretty good, the coaching staff. I'm normally the positive one. Now I'm like, I don't know right now. C with a super chat. If Rodgers balls out, I already read that one. David, Jake, please ask Lane if the rumor is true. Dixon Hole is going to, I can never say Saskatchewan, right? Yep. Jets fans in uproar. Dixon Hole is going to the NFL. He's not playing in Canada. I can promise you that. Now, I don't know if the Jets are going to draft him. I don't think they would do it at 7. But if Dixon Hole is there and the Jets could get him with pick 42, why not? Now, if Lane keeps spreading the word about him and he keeps getting hyped up like Knoble did, then we got to have the conversation about, maybe trading in to the back part of the first round, maybe say pick 27.
The 27 pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hole out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader?
Lane is seeing the future. So keep that in mind. If you're just tuning in, hit the like button. Boyd Green was on with us for an hour. Appreciate everyone tuning in here on a Friday. Quick programming note. Tomorrow when we do our Saturday show, that will feature the Neil versus Indy. Or actually, no, I got the order wrong. That will feature the Leany versus Luppy matchup in the 6-11 in the Hood region. There will be no show Monday unless there's like crazy breaking news because I'm in a wedding. I'm the best man in a wedding on Sunday. So we'll be back for free agency, which starts on Monday. And then that will feature 2 matchups, the Neil matchup and Indy Jets, and then Purple Belt Mike and Nick T, if you want a little Asmaniac Madness look ahead. Speaking of Asmaniac Madness, this guy is in the tournament. He's got one of the more fascinating opening round matchups. The great Rick Kent is on the line. What's up, Rick?
Hey, Jake. Called for a couple of reasons. I wanted to show off my my Adidas quarter zip.
How is it? You were like the second person to order it when we put it up in the store.
It's a very cold day here today. It was in the 40s this morning, and it's surprisingly warm. I mean, it seems really thin and breathable, but it's keeping me warm in my apartment, so I'm happy with that.
I love it. Well, thank you very much, Rick. That's awesome.
So I just thought I'd model that. I wanted to congratulate Nate on a great showing this morning. My in real life friend, Nate, who I actually met and hung out with. I'm glad to see him doing well. I want to talk about Kirk Cousins, but not in the way you're talking about him. For some reason, Atlanta seems to be playing this weird game of chicken with him. They keep saying, and multiple sources are reporting, that they're prepared to move forward with him still on the team. He's still on the team as of today, but he's owed a $10 million bonus on the 17th, which is a week from Monday.
Right.
So the pundits suspect they're going to release him, but they keep saying that they're not. So my hope, because I don't want Kirk Cousins on this team for any reason whatsoever, my hope is in the week between Monday when I think the tampering starts Monday and the league
Monday
starts
at noon,
on Wednesday.
9 a.m. your time, Rick.
Right. So hopefully within that week, they'll sign some quarterback or make a commitment to a quarterback that Kirk Cousins won't be an issue if he gets released by the following Monday. Because he stinks. He's washed up. He used the Jets to leverage more money out of Minnesota. And I don't want several players have done that over the years, and I don't want any of them. And Cousins, he's just garbage. I don't like him. He stinks.
Yeah, he was a good quarterback, but I'm not like he's 36, coming off the Achilles, was bad last year. We sign Justin Fields, take a chance on the upside there. Like that's a plan.
With all the insane names of quarterbacks that are being bandied about, how come nobody's saying that we should bring back Joe Flacco? He can't move, but at least he can still throw the ball.
I'd take him over some of the other options I've had to sift through the last couple of months doing this.
And he's had success with Garrett Wilson and with the Jets. So
yeah,
so
I don't think they'll do
good.
it. Yeah, I don't think I heard Woody is anti-Flacco big time. He like shot it down when his name came up in the past post Jets for whatever that's worth. But I mean, I'll take Joe Flacco over Easton Stick or some of the other names that I've.
Oh, Easton Stick just has a cool name. He's a terrible quarterback. My last point is it's sad to say, but as of today, Irv Charles is our number 2 wide receiver. Hurt or not, he's
already leapfrogged Malachi Corley in your mind, right?
Oh, well, we don't know if Malachi Corley is even a real person. We don't know if he exists. He stepped on the field once, made a great play, dropped the ball, and got crucified for it. And they barely used him after that.
That's right. By the way, Rick, a couple people made this comment, and I pulled up a picture for the side-by-side. Is it possible that you're not actually Rick
Jimmy
Kent?
Johnson.
Are you Jets consultant, senior advisor Rick Spielman? Is that you?
Yeah, maybe. You never know. He sure is a good-looking guy, so that lets him out from being me. I wouldn't mind getting his salary. I'm sure he makes more money than I do.
Look at that side by side. Look at this.
Well, you're catching me working from home where I'm wearing my glasses. Normally, I wear contact lenses, so normally I look like this.
Rick Kent Spielman, everybody. I mean, how does this impact Rick's chances in the tournament when he goes head to head with the great Robert C. in the classic 8-9 matchup in the
Robert C. Robert C. is a great one. He's quirky. He's funny. He yells a lot. He doesn't know the words to the national anthem, which I'll forever hold against him because 5th graders know the words to the national anthem. But Robert C. is a fine human being. I have nothing bad to say about him except he has wild hair and he looks like Spider-Man's archenemy Norman Osborn.
He does. That's a great comp. I love it.
Robert said I think in Nick Shine's chat, he said that he goes, Rick Kent doesn't need to campaign. And I will, I agree with that.
No, I'll tell you what, Rick.
From me, it wouldn't be complimentary, I'm sure, but
you got a chance. I like the matchup there. I mean, the 8-9s have been really close in this tournament, so I'm expecting that one to be really close as well.
Here's how I feel about it. I'm thankful to be in the tournament. I didn't expect to be in it. I don't call very often. I like being in the chat. I don't have a lot of. I'm not one of those guys who calls in when they have nothing to say or can't remember why they called, and I don't have ridiculous takes. But if Robert beats me, more power to him, and if I beat him, it's fine. I'm just happy to be in the chat in the tournament.
So I got your region wrong when I just said it. You're in the train region, which means if you do win, Rick, you got to go up against the lane train.
Yeah. So what's that? Out of the frying pan and into the fire. So I'll be totally decimated I'll be run over by the lane train. He can't smack talk me because he has me blocked.
Well, wow, we got to play into that in that matchup if we get
it. I can't see Lane's chats. He blocked me months ago and it's only in this show. Like I see him in Nick's show, I see him in Bobby's show, I see him on other shows, but he even said to me he doesn't know how to unblock me. He tried.
Yeah, I don't even know. So you can only see his comments on other shows, not this one. You're saying
right. I see him when he calls in, but I don't see him. And
did you block him by accident? Maybe.
No, I looked and checked. I didn't block. I would never block him. I love his chats, man. He's hilarious. I've never blocked anybody. I've put people in timeout as a as a mod in other channels, but I've never blocked anyone. But I've been blocked. Beastbreaker blocked me, which I thank my lucky stars for. That I cannot see his chats anymore, which is just fine with me.
He's taking some vacation away from the show right now.
He's embarrassed. He can't show his face around here because Dave humiliated him. But here's the best thing about that is that I'm in the chat and I hear people talking back to him and I have no idea what he's saying to them, which is kind of funny to see one side of the conversation.
Well, you know what, Rick? I'll tell you what. Great call. Quarter zip looks tremendous. Glad you're working from home today. And I'm excited for your matchup with Robert C. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I don't know that I'll be able to call in depending what day of the week it is. If I'm in my office, I cannot call in. So
what's obviously afternoon would be better than morning with the West Coast or opposite?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's like if you go on at 10 o'clock, I'll be in my bathrobe and my hair standing straight up before I've showered. But afternoon, I may be at lunch. I may be in my office. It gets a little crazy in the afternoon where I work. But if it's on a Friday, then could be at home and maybe it'll be a quiet day and I can call in.
All right. Well, I don't have that far in advance the schedule because a free agency is going to change things.
It's not going to be for a month.
We'll do our best. All right, Rick. I'm excited for you.
Listen, if you do it early, I'll get up early and make myself camera ready for you if it's 7 a.m. my time.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rick Kent.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones who make the show rock.
Rick Kent or Rick Spielman Kent? Great call from Rick. Update in polling. Castro, 74. Raven, 26. Almost 400 votes have been cast. Tremendous. Great turnout in this matchup here. I just saw this comment from Ricky who says, Jake got my helmet and swag today. Thanks. Ricky, that's awesome. What did you win again, Ricky? I forget. I know I sent it Monday. How about that? We did the raffle last Friday, and Ricky, a week later, already got his prize. How's that for being efficient? Sack Exchange jersey, our grand prize for next week's ASMANIAC raffle after we gave away 5 items on the first show today. Signed by each member of... Oh, you want a Klecko helmet. Great. That's awesome. Well, Ricky, if you want a chance to win something signed by Klecko and 3 other Jet legends, that is the top prize in our next ASMANIAC raffle. More calls right now before we start to wind down this program. Let's say hello to Papa Jet. What's up, Papa Jet?
How you doing, Jake?
What's up, Jet? How are you?
Not bad. I'm stoked for the Sack Exchange stuff for next week because that's my. I was going to talk about Klecko, but I don't know how old you are, Jake. But he was. Were you born yet when the Sack Exchange?
No, not at all. I was not born for any of it.
Well, I think it's going to be a short call then.
I know the history. I watched the 30 for 30. My dad is obviously a huge Jet fan and, loves that era of Jets football.
Yeah. I mean, for me, since early 70s, and it's kind of sad to say because it's been a long time, but they're probably that was my favorite time right there with the Sack Exchange. And I know people knocked down like O'Brien and Todd, but we still had competitive teams, went to the playoffs a few times, I probably other than Parcells when he came in and Rex's first 2 years, what else is there, But the Sack Exchange, it got to the point, Jake, where like you'd be watching a game, it'd be like 3rd and long, and if they didn't get a sack, you were like, it shocked you. It was like, what's going on, guys? I mean, they were dominant, But with Klecko being my favorite player, I just wanted to say, I know he got in the Hall of Fame, was 2022. I just think it's bullshit that it took that long for him. I mean, because you read up on it, like there's Hall of Fame offensive linemen that say that he was the best they ever won against, or definitely top 3. And why did it take him 23 years to get in? It just don't make sense to me, you know?
Well, the thought process on why it took so long had nothing to do with Klecko. It was the Jets didn't win a Super Bowl when he was playing, right? They weren't in the AFC Championship game other than the A.J. Dewey year in '82, right? Like there's just it was tough for Klecko to get the notoriety that he truly deserved because of just the lack of overall winning compared to some of the other greats of his time. But I mean, anyone, you already brought it up. I mean, ask any lineman who went against Klecko, they'll say the guy's a Hall of Famer. That's why he ultimately got in.
You know what, Jay? I mean, he was blood, sweat, and tears, man. I mean, he was a warrior, you know. And did you know he's the only player in NFL history to go to the Pro Bowl at all 3 positions on the defensive line?
Right. Yeah.
You know, and well, they don't call them nose tackles anymore, but end nose tackle and defensive tackle, you know. But anyways, I'll buy some memberships next week, and hopefully it lands on me.
Hey, I appreciate it, Papa J. And do me a favor, shoot me an email with your address because I have some stuff I'd like to send you. All right, a little sack exchange stuff for you that is not being used for a raffle, but I have some stuff I want to send your way. All right.
Awesome, Jake. I appreciate it. But hey, real quick, I just wanted to say, last night I was strolling around on YouTube before I kind of dozed off. I saw Beast in another show.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of weird. They had accents. I don't know if it was like some Australian show but it was like deja vu. It's like Beast it was like I was watching your show, the first time Beast came on. It was like he was going through the same routine, and these guys were kind of funny. They're like, what's this guy, you know? And the one guy is like, is he in his attic? And I don't know. It was pretty funny, but I don't know if Beast will be back or not, but
no, he will be. He's taking some time off right now, and I'm sure he'll be back soon. But to your point, he was on the Jets Turbulence podcast yesterday, Papa, and he gave us one of these.
Would you silence, or should I do one of these?
So Beast is still Beast, all right? I have no doubt. Now, how does that compare to a Charles Gorman? That's what I know is going to be asked of me next to weigh in on. So I'll beat you all to the punch, and I'll share my thoughts after this.
Oh.
Gorman, to me, is still the GOAT, all right? But Beast is fastly emerging. Also, real talk about Beast's appearance last night on this podcast. Because I got a text from Gator that he's on, so I was watching the Dick game. I don't want to talk about the game. Hopefully Jalen Brunson's okay. Sounds like it's not going to be super serious. Side point. And I put it on, and you know what stuck out to me? Somehow Beast's internet wasn't terrible for once. I'm like, where's this been for the last 3 months? I'm like, I don't get it. If Beast had that kind of internet that he had last night, I think he does. He maybe does beat Briga, but I think it was a combination of anti-Beast and your internet sucks, bro, that knocked him out of the tournament. But the internet last night during this Beast appearance, forget just the fart. I mean, it was a tremendous connection. And he's walking around his home and showing people the attic. And I was like, where's this been? So, I don't know, man. One more time for those of you just tuning in.
Would you silence, or should I do one of these?
You imagine trying to explain this show to someone? Yeah, it's my job. I play some farts from a guy named Charles Gorman, who's 29 years old and lives with his mom, and Beastbreaker, who's 40 and lives in an attic. Kyle Clifton with a super chat. Jones is 27. Fields is 26. Last shots, both have physical ability. Kirk Winston had opportunities. That's my point. Try and catch lightning in a bottle. I understand the premise, Kyle. You think Daniel Jones is going to come to the Jets and catch lightning in the bottle? I just don't see it. Winston is not old, though. What is he, 31 or 32? Like, he's pretty young. Jameis Winston is 31. He just turned 31 in January. He's not old. Jameis Winston to me would be a logical choice if they can't get Fields. Kyle Clifton is in the raffle for one by gifting this membership.
The freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
I appreciate it, Kyle. Thank you. Gorman's 30, by the way. I got his age wrong. Gator says the chat doesn't deserve Beast. No one is hurt more by Beast losing than Gator. All right. Thoughts and prayers to Gator McCluskey. He's been down bad since Beast was eliminated by Briga. Cactus Johnny, Jake not scoring any points with Mrs. Thunderlips. I'd imagine Mrs. Thunderlips appreciates comedy. No, Cactus Johnny? I mean, we cover a lot of things on this show. The Jets, Charles Gorman and Beast Breakers fart off, Asmaniac Madness, Rob versus everybody yesterday.
He's more likable than you fucking old cunt.
Fuck yourself, you piece of
Go
shit.
fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
Well, first of all, I'm not a trade you asshole.
Yeah, you are. You are.
You're a fucking asshole too. So
Fuck you, asshole. Watch your fucking mouth.
The show's got a wide range. All right, last chance to get in here. I think I pinned the call on link, right? I did, so it's there. Castro, big lead, 73-27, with 400 votes on the dot that have been cast here. Ladies and gentlemen, a legendary, maybe tandem is on the line. I can't tell, but I do know this. Party with Peg and Artie are always in the chat, always engaging with the show, and Artie's with us right now. What's up, Artie?
Hey, Jake, what's happening?
What's up, Artie? How are you?
Everything's good. I got to tell you, the little piece of me misses the Beast. I'm not going to lie.
He'll be back. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll see. I got a couple of takes. I haven't heard anybody mention. What I think might happen is Aaron Rodgers retires. I think he signs a one-day contract with the Packers and goes off into the sunset. What he should do anyway. I mean,
look,
the Giants ain't
I hope
close
he
to
does.
winning. Why would you want to even go there?
I know. Well, you know what? Here's the selling point. They might be the only option for him to be the unquestioned starter and keep playing. And he doesn't have to move. He just bought a house in New Jersey. He doesn't have to move. He can play for the Giants. He likes Dable as an offensive coach. He loved Malik Neighbors. We watched that on last year when the Jets posted the mic'd up of him at training camp against the Giants last year. They have some pieces on defense. Maybe I don't know. Do I think the Giants are a great team? No, but if he wants to keep playing, that's the selling point.
Well, that would be the only thing. It's just a question of him not wanting to pack it in because, I mean, the Giants have to see what Garrett Wilson went through. You know what I mean? I mean, it's great. As good as Aaron was and as thankful as I am that he wanted to come to the Jets and gave us that, a year of excitement, actually the injury and the look forward to it coming back and all this stuff. It's just, I just don't know. I don't see why you'd want to go play with the Giants.
He loves ball, wants to play. Also, he gets to stick it to Woody by going to the other team in town.
That's true. The other thing is I wanted to mention that I didn't need a lot of people talking about is if we're at pick 7, and let's say on the board is Genty and Warren's on the board, 2 players that maybe people would want to trade up and we could trade down a few spots. Because I love this kid, Loveland. I mean, he's a catching beast. He's a beast. He's an offensive juggernaut, I mean, could be a really good player. And we can get an extra pick in the 3rd round, 4th round, or whatever. This draft is pretty deep from around like the end of round 2 to round 5. There's a lot of plays. We can fill a lot of spots if we can accumulate some more picks.
What about Warren?
I wouldn't complain if they took Warren. If they want to just pick a player at 7, that's the one I would want. If that's what they elected to do. We need playmakers. And really what's going to happen is we got to see what happens with free agency. That's really going to give us an idea of, maybe which way they're going to go as far as the draft goes. Justin Fields, I mean, that would be, I'd sign on for that too. I mean, really, we got to do something. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with you. If they took Warren, depending on the other options, like if the board breaks a certain way, I'm fine with it. And that's just because, if you're picking in the top 7, I'm not reaching just to say, positional value if the prospect is that much worse. And right. I feel like Warren is worthy of that pick if it makes sense.
Yeah. And I had a really nice time sitting in Bobby's show last night. That was fun. I sat in there for about a half hour chopping it up with Addison and and weed and a whole bunch of guys. So it was a lot of fun. So that was good. I'm glad you popped in also.
I'm glad Peg was there too. That was great to get both of you together.
Yeah, she heard me talking to somebody, so she has to, she's a little nosy. She had to go find out who I was talking to.
That's funny. I love it.
It is
Well,
funny.
I mean, you and Peg have to call in more this upcoming year so we can get you guys in the tournament.
If that happens, that'd be great. I definitely will. I was kind of like not trying to call in too much now because I wanted to hear all the contestants, the well-deserved contestants, chop it up.
Did you fill out a
Yesterday
bracket?
was absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, my bracket's shitting now. We have Beast and yeah. I didn't pick weed. I mean, how could I not pick weed? I didn't know this guy was hated so much.
Yeah, look, I mean, Rob from Glenhead has become polarizing. I think after yesterday, too, and him going at it with Bobby and Cheats fan, he's definitely going to be more polarizing.
Oh, my God. Cheese fan was another one that surprised me last night hanging out with Bobby. Because usually you have his Jake Asman aura on here. But in that room, when he was sitting down just chopping it up, he's a super nice guy. It was pleasant. I'm hanging out with him last night.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, dude. I'll see you later. Have a good time, Maniacs.
Artie, great call. Shout out to Peg as well. Tremendous call there. Kyle Clifton gifted another membership. He's in the raffle again. And how about this from Down Under in Australia? Craig gifting a 5-spot of channel memberships.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Craig in for 5. And yes, we do ship international to raffle winners. See our pal Austrian Jet fan who has received 2 items in Asmaniac raffle since we started them. Steven Siegel, Zach Minton, Justin Luciano, Michael Robinson, Anthony Fabili, and that might have been 5 right there, actually. It was. Craig, thank you very much, as always. Who's excited for the Craig versus Sarah matchup in the first round? That's one of our best first-round matchups in this tournament. The 6th seed, Craig from Australia. The 11th seed, Sarah from Australia. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret that the committee was trying to figure out. There was talk of putting Sarah and Hawk together as a team. Problem is, Hawk only called once. He's in the chat every day, but he only called once. And if he called in one time the week of the tournament, that would have been enough to put him in with Sarah. Instead, it's just Sarah. Now, Hawk did have a great comment a while ago that I thought was funny. Tim Patrick solves our hole at wide receiver 5. Matt, we're going to go from Devontae Adams to Tim Patrick. Get ready. Craig says, quicker to pick up in New York City. Honestly, Craig, if you win something between now and when you're here, yeah, it's probably just easier just to hand it to you in person. That'd be great. JD says, how much to put Artie in the tournament and remove Allen? Well, JD, if it was up to me, I'd do it for free, but I'm a man of integrity, and the committee set the brackets. Allen was a 3 seed by the committee, and I respect the committee too much to interfere with their decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to wind down, so last chance to get in the raffle for today, and the last chance to call into the show for today. Right now, let's say hello to a caller who goes by many names, but on this show, he goes by one name. That name, South Ass. Hello, South Ass.
Yo, what's going on, Jake?
Oh, helmet on. Hold on.
We got the helmet on, baby. Let's get it. Yeah, here we go. Mine's yours is too big. Mine's too small. Mine's a child one.
This is Beastbreaker's helmet. He's letting me borrow it.
What does that fit? His shoulder? That don't even fit over his neck. Bro, if Danny Dimes comes to us and Rodgers goes to the Giants, bro, it's like almost, I don't know if it's worse than Revis going to the Patriots, but that's up there, bro. That's that's up there, man. I don't know if I can handle that, you know.
Revis won a Super Bowl right away, which sucked.
That's even worse.
Yeah, like that was horrible. But if Rodgers went to the Giants and played well, I actually think that might hurt me more than seeing Revis win a championship, because Revis was a corner. If Rodgers playing quarterback for the Giants played well and they made the playoffs or whatever, that would kill what's ever left inside of me being a Jet fan.
Yeah, he'd be in the same building. There'd probably be pictures of him in the locker room, in the hallways where they walk in between the field and shit. Oh, bro, I was at the Ghost game with Darnold. I bought a shirt in the parking lot that said Tom Brady Swallows, and I might have told this on the air before. I don't know, but I'm wearing it. Dude. We're losing 31-0, I think it was. Monday Night Football. I got out of work at 4 o'clock, drove from Albany, New York to MetLife, barely got there kickoff, just to be the most embarrassed I've ever been in my life, bro. And it's just like I had to put the sweatshirt on. I covered my Jets jersey and the Tom Brady Swallow shirt, and we left. And then it was just so I don't know, man. Then we bought into Zach, and one of my next calls, I'm gonna have I don't want to give up what I'm gonna do, but I got something planned. I'm gonna put all the jerseys on and show all the pain we've all felt. Darnold, Sanchez, Gino, you know what I mean? Just go down the list and just watch the pain, the blood tears from my eyes, So
I'll tell you what, you got to pull out all the stops because your matchup in the first round is a tough one in Gary.
I'm not losing to Gary, fake ass Nets fan. I'm a Nets fan, bro. Not Brooklyn though. I was Jersey Nets. So the fact that he continued to be a Nets fan when they went to Brooklyn, that's how I know he's full of shit. Because I was off board.
You love his Jaden Daniels take.
I don't even know if I heard it.
He wouldn't take Jaden Daniels in this year's draft if he was there at number 7 for the Jets.
Who would he take, Brock?
I don't know if he would take any of the quarterbacks.
Oh man. I mean, I don't. There's other callers I don't like more than Gary. I like Gary. I think he's funny. I think it's I like cornrows and shit. I think it's comical, We both had a similar experience where we got, unlawfully detained. So we were talking about that on air the one day. And yeah, I'm home more. My girl's in Houston right now at work. So kind of chilling. I'm normally got the girl here and the dog, and I'm just in the house dolo. So I'm like, let me tune in. Usually I like to watch from the beginning, but I'm like, I can't call in if I don't tune in live, baby. Yeah. So we had to strap them up, get it going. So I'm here, man.
Let's go, South Ass. I love it. Great call. South Ass starting to become a regular ahead of his matchup. We've already had one 15 seed win. Who says we couldn't get another? Right? Why not? Anything can happen in ASMANIAC Madness. Ladies and gentlemen, calling in for the first time since he was defeated in the tournament earlier today by Nate, Nate, is our guy Yeti. Yeti, you fought hard today. Congrats on a great run.
I just figured we were putting helmets on. Everybody could put a helmet on if we got them. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I always forget about what I'm calling about. And I never know what I'm talking about. So, dude, I'm here for you guys, man. It's Yeti, man. Oh, dude, I look good. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's Yeti, man. It's your brother. Go, Nate. Rock hard. Talk to you later, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yeti. All right. I got to take this helmet off. Unless someone drops another 20 memberships, then we'll put it back on. Why is everyone calling in at the end of the show? There was nobody on hold besides this last guy that I was so excited to take, and I will take him next. Now everyone's calling in here. 2 hours in. Where were you guys the first 2 hours of the show? Ladies and gentlemen, Craig in Australia is up next. Hey, Craig.
This is your fault because you said there's room to call in and you're winding down. So, as we say, be careful what you wish for, right?
That's true. Look, we got the best listeners, man. Everyone wants to talk tournament and Jets at all times.
We do, and I have to tell you, whenever you put that enormous helmet on, you just make me think of this guy from Spaceballs.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Dark helmet. Oh,
yes.
I can't get the reflection off it, but there we go.
That's tremendous.
Also, one of the greatest movies of all time. No need to run a poll to find out if everyone agrees. I don't think. Well, we're counting the days, mate. Getting closer. I'm booking up stuff to do with EB in Las Vegas.
Wow.
People don't know this about him, but he's actually like a bit of a raver sort of thing. And we had like this drum and bass dude come to Adelaide recently who goes around the world and he rides his bike around the city with all these speakers and turntables, and he gets thousands of people on bikes following him. And that guy just came to Adelaide. So Luke went with it. So he's into this stuff. So I'm organising some clubs to take him to in Vegas.
Ooh, you're gonna have a blast if he's into that scene. There's no better place than Vegas.
Mate, he's going to get. I'm determined to give him the full USA experience, even by USA standards. It's going to be a big trip for him. I think. I was thinking, it didn't occur to me till the other day, till it got mentioned, the idea of Rodgers going to the Giants, and the minute the thought arrived at my brain, I said, "That's what's going to happen." And not only that, they're going to have either a winning season or make the playoffs. And I know you said it would destroy you. It would be the end of you. So you have to expect it. This is the only way to survive. Right. It's the only way. You have to expect it. Then the shock won't be so bad.
And just remember, if that happens, remember the amount of people that have been pushing back on me wanting to keep him. Remember it, because that is the most Jets-like thing to ever happen was Rodgers getting hurt on the fourth play of his first ever game. Worst moment I've ever witnessed in my life at any sporting event, and I was at the 5th inning of Game 5 of the World Series this year as a Yankee fan. Rodgers' injury was worse. If he goes to the Giants and plays great, that will crush me. And like, unless the Jets also have a great season somehow, which kind of feels unlikely, but you never know.
You are not allowed to be surprised you are not allowed to if he goes to the Giants and they win. You're just not allowed to. Yep. Because this is how it goes for us, and probably Devontae will go there as well.
Yeah. Of course.
It's gonna have everything. Get ready for the pain. So I've switched from we're gonna win the Super Bowl to they're gonna do things to us that we can't imagine. This is my expectation at this point.
Hey, if you keep the expectations low, you can never be disappointed. To quote Peter LaFleur in Dodgeball.
This is my thinking exactly. It's true. So anyway, I'm gearing up for my battle with Sarah. I still can't believe we were put together in the very first round. This is some kind of evil committee move to break the office. And Luke is having, as the head of HR and head of security and head of wellness department, he's in the middle of this. So we've got to think of him as well in this. When's our day? When does this happen?
Ooh, actually, I think I have a tentative date for you, Craig. Stand by.
All right.
I believe. Well, so U.S. Thursday, March 13th. The afternoon show, I'm assuming, works better than the morning show because it's like in the middle of the night there, right?
I have to be able to defend myself and call in.
Okay, so right now it is scheduled perfectly. Thursday, March 13th, my second show that day. So I guess that would be Friday morning for you.
Okay, what am I doing Friday morning? Oh, that's Saturday. Wait.
March 13th. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Friday the 14th.
A week from today, actually. You're tentatively scheduled a week from today to go at it. Actually, a week from. No, I have it wrong. It's March 13th. I was saying the 14th.
Yeah, March. Yeah, I got you. It'll work out. It's going to be fine.
All right.
Look, my only goal is to get past the first round. That's it. Because there's just too much high quality ahead. That's all I need to do. All I need to really do is remind everyone who calls in all the time, who super chats, who membership gifts, which is to say, who doesn't. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not naming names. No, nothing. It's all good.
Hey, are you guys going to be rallying people in the office to go out and vote in the poll?
Well, here's the thing. Outside of me and Sarah, there's only one person. And that's
really? That's it? That's so funny.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Luke wants to get paid this month. So I can't see that. So I'm going to set him the task of setting up about 300 fake accounts to vote for me. I'll do that. And then, like I said, after that, and I did say to Sarah, I said, you have the option of like backing out of this tournament. You can do that. This would avoid a lot of ugliness potentially.
She could wave the white boomerang as you guys do down there, right?
Well, she hasn't got a boomerang. You do. Maybe if you throw it from your apartment in Manhattan, it could hit her on the back of the head before it came back to you. I don't know. But as you say, you got a lot of people on hold, so I'll get out of the way so this show doesn't go for 6 hours. But thanks for everything, mate. We love you. We love everyone.
Craig, you're the best. Can't wait to see you in person. It's going to be awesome. You know, as bad as the Aaron Rodgers era of Jets football was, I am happy that Craig got to see Rodgers play in person this year and play great in person at the home opener. Because I remember when Craig called the show 2 years ago, he came to America. They were excited to watch Rodgers play, and he was already out for the season by then. They got Zach Wilson in the rain against New England, and then they were at the Chiefs game on Sunday Night Football the following week. And Craig's like, I want to watch Rodgers. And thankfully, at least you got to see him play in person, play well. All right, few calls left. Ladies and gentlemen, the 11th seed is on the line. Snowball. What's up, Snowball?
Oh, hi. Hey, Jake, how are you? I'm just calling in to congratulate Peter Castro on his victory. I'm going to call it a victory because I think we're, getting down to the end here, right? And he's leading.
We're winding down. Yeah, I mean, Peter Castro's up 73 to 27.
27. Complete domination by Castro. So, who I've met in person, and he is a fantastic gentleman to share time with. So, yes, just doing a little painting. Just wanted to. I am painting a portrait of the winner of the Jake Asman bracket. So, we'll see if my prediction is correct. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So, are you going to show us it when it's completed? I'm guessing
at the end. Yes.
Okay.
At the end, whoever the winner is, I will show the portrait in real time. So
I'm excited then.
Yeah. Well, people have to keep me around. So, if they want to see the portrait, keep me around.
I see what you're doing there. Now,
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by your matchup, Snowball, because Chef Kevin has a very unique job, right? He is a chef, of course. You are one of the finest teachers to ever come through the Long Island school district. I mean, it's a great matchup. You're both great guys. You both have often come out to events. So I met you both in person numerous times. Yeah, I think it's a great battle.
I think it's probably one of the more difficult battles in the whole bracket. Who do you vote for? Do you vote for the man who feeds you and fills your stomach, or do you vote for the guy who fills the brains of children? So, what do you do? It's a toss-up. If you like to eat, or if you believe in the future of our country, vote for Snowball, or vote for the person who feeds you, feeds your stomach. So it's a good toss-up.
Strong. Luppy writes in, Snowball, it must be a self-portrait then.
We'll see what it looks like. So, I'm not banking on anything right now, but I think I have a good idea of who it's going to be. So, and whoever wins will, if it matches, we'll get the portrait. If it matches.
Nate writes in, I hated my art teacher and love food voting for chef.
I would think nothing less of Nate.
Yeah. It seems like a Nate take right there.
Yeah, I believe actually I think Nate was the magnum cum laude at TED U.
I was wondering where you were going with that. Your opponent has wrote in. Chef Kevin says, Snowball, are you going to paint a picture of me?
Again, we have to wait until the end and see if it matches. So, it could very well be a portrait of Chef Kev.
I'll tell you what. I think you guys should make some sort of side bet in your matchup. If he wins, you got to paint a portrait of him. But if you win, he's got to make you a custom meal of your choice, professional Chef Kevin meal.
Do I have to drive to the Cloverleaf to collect? Because I can ship but Uber Eats or whatever. I don't know if they do food delivery from Cloverleaf. So.
Is Cloverleaf on Goldbelly? Can we get it helicoptered to Long Island from North Jersey?
They are. Listen, Cloverleaf Tavern is the official tavern of Jets Worldwide. So, I'm just saying. We have advertised them many times on the show. So,
I love it.
It's kind of a strange take because I'm not going to say anything. Anyway, yes, best of luck to Chef Kevin, and may the best ASMANIAC win.
Ladies and gentlemen, The 11 seed, Snowball.
It's time for Asmaniac Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top Asmaniac for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
It's gonna be a great matchup in that train region. South End Auto Detailing, also known as South Ass. Jake, can we put a clip for all Asmaniacs who passed at end of every show, like the one you run for the guy who passed, who always called from the hospital? We could. We don't, thankfully, have a ton of notable Asmaniacs who passed, though, that I'm thinking of. Obviously, Keith Best is a very unique example because he was such a regular on the show. We named the trophy, South Ass. I don't know if you are aware of this. We named the trophy for Asmaniac Madness the Best of the Best trophy in honor of Keith. So whoever wins will get that every year as we make this an annual thing on the show. All right. More calls right now. 2 people left. One of them has already won their Asmaniac Madness matchup and is already campaigning in his battle in the round of 32.
For those of you who didn't know, a few months back, I had announced my retirement from the Big Asman show. But after today's victory, I have a huge announcement to make. The fans have spoken. I'm coming out of retirement.
The great
I'm back. Big fella, I'll see you in the next round. May the best man win.
He's back! The fakest retirement ever, JJ.
I don't know why you keep throwing shots at me. I don't know what I did to you, man.
You said you were retired. I didn't buy it, and now you're back. So I'm bringing that up.
Yeah, because a lot of the fans asked for me to unretire. A lot of your fans said, "Hey, JJ, can you unretire?" So I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to just stay retired when people ask me to unretire? But anyways, and I don't understand why you want me to lose to the big fella.
Now you're all the way back, JJ, because your internet is as dog shit as ever. It's like you never left.
But real quick, just called in to say happy Friday. Everyone enjoy your Friday and spread love and positivity, all right? Happy Friday, everyone. JJ's back. Let's go.
Are you excited to face he's gone. You know what? Thank God. Probably for the best. Is there that now we know JJ is actually back, folks. His internet had been too good on the previous calls. Gary, JJ and B share similar internet providers. David Atkins, fake retirement. I look, we're really going to get to see what Asmaniacs want in their tournament matchup in that round of 32. Like, do you want someone that trolls, that riles up the chat? Or do you want someone that's beloved, like Big Fella? Because Big Fella is beloved. Maybe you don't love all his football takes, but you love him as a human being. He's a great man. JJ, he's also great, but he goes out of his way to, give you a little extra. JJ, Big Fella, 5 versus 4. Winner goes to the Sweet 16. That is a great matchup. Craig with a great point. JJ's internet needs to stay retired. Yes. But now we know, I'm telling you, now we know, for those who have been here a while, we know JJ's all the way back once his internet off the phone is bad. That is a JJ staple. Ladies and gentlemen, potentially our final call. I'm amazed he's able to call in considering that his wife is not thrilled with his credit card bill this month after spending enormous amounts of money on Super Chat supporting this show. Thunderlips is next. Hello, Thunderlips.
How do we rectify the situation? How do I get my wife to like you?
It's going to be tough because I'm not the most likable guy at times.
You're pretty funny, man. She fucking hates your guts.
Really? What does she specifically not like about me? I'll see if I could do something about it.
Me spending money.
I see. Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe I could stop spending money, but I believe in what you do. And
Does she want some merch? We sent you and your kids some merch. Does she want what
No, you know
what's
what?
her favorite Asmaniac hat? We'll send her something.
She's not here right now. She took the kid. I didn't even know kids were all gone. I got food delivered and I was screaming their names and I forgot they were all out of the house. Like I was literally like, I got fucking, excuse me, I got Chinese food at the house and I'm screaming all the kids' name. Be quiet. Now one of my kids is home. Do you know what gatekeeping is?
Gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Should I? No.
Exactly. So my son left to go fishing or to hang out with his friend, and I smelt his cologne, and I was like, "That's really good cologne. What is it?" And he said, "I'm gatekeeping," meaning he wants to keep it a secret from me. I was like, "I have no idea what these kids use. They use all these terminology. It's retarded. It's stupid. I don't even know what I could say. I don't even want to say retarded. I'll get canceled."
Anthony says this guy is hammered. Are you hammered, Thunderlips?
Probably. My son just said yes. He's back from fishing. He did not catch any bass.
South
My
Philly
dogs-
says dude's drunk again. How often do you drink, Thunderlips? Do we have a problem?
Friday. On Fridays. I'm clean on a day that, and you're grounded and you're adopted. Nobody loves you. I know. No, I'm good Monday through Thursday. Now you're pulling up chats. Let's see people talking shit about me. It's all good.
Maybe your wife doesn't like you and she's projecting it
My
on me.
wife loves me. I married her on December 29th, 2002, when the Jets played Green Bay to win the fucking AFC Championship game. During my wedding, they were playing. And I left, like, after I got married, I went to the bar with my dad and we watched the game, and everyone was pissed off because it was right after my wedding reception. But, you know.
Did you have the wedding party that same day?
At the Holiday Inn, MacArthur Airport on Long Island. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it used to be a Holiday Inn. I don't know what it's called now. I used to
So
work
you had
there,
the ceremony and then the party right after, or the party
yeah,
was later that day?
everything was right in the MacArthur Airport. Dude, she was 18. She was 18 for less than a month. I was broke. That's what I could afford. You know what I mean? So we had the ceremony in like this little conference hall. Then we had
You got married at 18?
She was 18 for less than a month. Yeah, and I think I was 20 or 21.
You got married young.
Yeah, we're still married though. I mean, you got to take your shot. I was friend zoned all through high school, and then once I left to join the military, I told her all the shit I was doing, and she was like, "Next time you come back to New York, I'll change my answer." So
Really? So to all the fellas out there, you're saying the key to beat the friend zone is to join the military?
No, the key to beat the friend zone is once you get friend zoned, be the friend, but tell them all the chicks you're smashing, so they get jealous, and then they want. I'm just being serious. That's what I did. I was like, if I'm going to be your friend, I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I mean? So I got married at the Holiday Inn, and then I was thinking about divorcing her just to remarry her so the Jets can win the AFC Championship again.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't won the division title since your wedding, so
100%.
Maybe the key is you get divorced, immediately remarry, and I will see you at MetLife Stadium for the first ever home playoff game that the New York Jets have had in that building.
Oh my God, please. That's all I want. My dog's breath smells like shit. So bad. It smells like he ate a fucking diaper. All right, I'm going to stop because I'm rambling. But I think I'm turning into a Warren whisperer as well.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You said a lot of things here, Thunderlips. I think we got something with you, all right? I need you to keep calling the show.
Yeah, only on Fridays, though, right?
Hey, whatever you got to do.
All right. Hey, Jake, you can get something in the mail. You're the best, brother. Hey, love you guys. Asmaniacs. Mount up!
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Thunderlips. He taught us a lot there, including the art of beating the friend zone during the active service. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you, Thunderlips. USA. USA. Wow. All right. I'm not, Tom with a good point here. I'm not quite sure why the dog smelling bad had anything to do with anything, but that was a very insightful call from Mr. Thunderlips. Wife not a fan of me. I'll try and work on that. South asked with a super chat. Thunderlips got out of the friend zone by showing her the Thunderstick and also married her on my B-Day. Your birthday was the same day that the Jets beat the Packers to go to the playoffs and win the AFCs? Craig says, I believe the term was hate your guts. Yeah, I mean, look, wouldn't be the first woman to hate my guts, so it certainly won't be the last. Throw it off the shoulders here. Come on. Anthony says, Jake, get this drunk off. I thought it was pretty entertaining. But, you know, I digress. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats here. Gary says he will not win over the 4%. 4% about to be 5%, people. But yeah, I mean, look, that might be tough. But you know what? If Thunderlips keeps calling, he'll build his own following. And Gary is a 2 seed, and he's as misogynistic as they come. Clancy, Thunder has big potential for next year's tourney. I agree. Gary King checks in. Gary, you got to start calling in more yourself. You had a good call the other day. This is why this show saved my Jet fandom, the characters. I will repeat a line I've said a lot. There are a lot of great Jet YouTube channels out there. I watch them all. But there's only one channel that has the community like this that can actually do a March Madness themed tournament about its callers. So without the community, we would just have a show that gives opinions on a bad football team. So I can't thank you all enough for tuning in every day, twice a day. I mean, some of you watch every show I do, and I'm live twice a day for 2 or 3 hours a day sometimes. Sean says, Thunder Lips about to kiss them thunder thighs. Jets Johnny, that was legendary. How about Thunder Lips getting married at age 20 and his wife was 18? That's young. I couldn't imagine getting married that young. And they're still together. That's impressive. Look at this. As I'm about to wrap up the show, we heard from Craig in Australia earlier. Sarah has checked in, trying to make her pitch for some votes. I'm dating an American. Surely that's good enough for a vote. Well, Sarah, I could promise you this. You're going to get at least one vote from one American. And it's the guy who is sleeping next to you now every night. I think you'll get a lot more than just one, but you're guaranteed, I believe, to get at least one vote. Dana says, I'm telling you, she's about to run through the first 2 rounds. I think people are sleeping on Craig. Remember, without Craig, there is no Sarah. I think people are going to remember that. And I love Sarah. I think if Sarah was matched up against a lot of other people, she would win. So I think the committee's thought process was, well, let's put her up against Craig and really see. Dana says Craig is her only obstacle. Well, let's look at Sarah's path if she does beat Craig, which I'm not convinced is going to happen. I think I did pick Craig in my personal bracket. Although this was tough. Like, I could see the chat going either way. If Sarah does win, wow, could we really get Sarah versus Alan in the round of 32? That is, am I reading that right? Yeah. Sarah versus Alan. That's great. I think what people need to remember, though, about Sarah is that she's associated with Hawk. All right? Hawk is the biggest Zach Wilson truther ever. I will not forget that. All right? That's who Sarah is choosing to spend her life with. The ultimate Zach Wilson truther. We can't forget that. Craig writes, it's Sarah versus Alan. Actually, tough choice. That's great. Man, I'm excited for that one. Next Thursday, I believe. Jets Johnny says, you mean Jets Johnny, MFer? I hope Johnny beats Allen. I just think the chat loves a good troll, and Allen's going to get more votes than a lot of people realize. Nick Shine says, Sarah stole Hawk. I can't support her. He was ours. Yeah, but one could argue we became a better country by not having Hawk spewing his Zach Wilson trutherisms on American soil. Let's see. All right, I think we're done here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a show. And with that, that means one thing is now in the books. And you're all wondering, what's that one thing he's talking about? Well, duh. That one thing is ASMANIAC Madness. Congratulations to Peter Castro on a win over Raven. The 4 defeats the 13. The official voting standings, or the vote tally, I should say, Castro 72, Raven 27, 471 votes were cast during this episode. Great voting turnout. Thank you to everyone who contributed. Congratulations to one of the OGs, Peter Castro, on advancing. Great showing by Raven. She'll be back better than ever in this tournament next year. Gary K says, if Raven needs any consoling, let me know. I don't think she does, but it's on the record. Anyway, congrats to Peter Castro. He had a great call earlier. He's awesome. And I would expect Peter Castro to have a chance at Nate in the next round. But I would expect Nate to make that a 50-50 matchup. It could be anyone's vote there. So we'll update this for tomorrow, but you see it here with Nate winning earlier, Castro winning just now. We're set for a Nate versus Castro 5 versus 4 matchup in the round of 32 inside the Hood region. Your votes matter. Your votes matter. Again, thank you to everyone for supporting the channel today. If you won a raffle prize earlier, congrats again to our 5 winners. Mike D's Nuts, AD Pugnant, John Dershowitz, Mimosa, Jets Johnny. What's great about those 5 is they're all Discord members. I've already been in touch with them, and I already have their address. So we'll send their prizes out soon. This week is a Sack Exchange themed raffle. Our first prize, our biggest prize, is a signed jersey by each member of the Sack Exchange. So that's what we got to look forward to for the next week. Again, thank you all for watching. Thank you to everyone who voted. Thanks to all the calls. Couldn't do it without you. Thanks to Boy Green, who joined us for the first hour and change of the show. There will be a Saturday show tomorrow. Nothing on Sunday unless there's breaking news, but then we're back at it Monday when free agency gets fully underway. Again, my name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. Thank you all for watching. Go Jets. Let's hope they don't suck. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Weed's more likable than you fucking old cunt.
Fuck yourself, you piece of
Go
shit.
fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
Well, first of all, I'm not a trade, you asshole.
Yeah, you are. You are.
You're a fucking asshole, too. So
Fuck you, asshole. Watch your fucking mouth.